Live now? Okay. So welcome back, students. So I hope you had a hectic sessions today. Basically, from the morning, me and Sandeep sir started with fluid mechanics, then after followed by strength of materials domain, and then followed by thermodynamics. So let us relax a bit with the mathematics session. Okay. So welcome back. Are you all ready? So shall we solve some questions? Basically, many people feel that maths is the most irritating subject, so why to put it at the last? But actually in this session we'll try to relax a bit, okay, by solving some integrations. I'll teach you, let us suppose if I'm dealing some concept, okay, so question related to some concept, then definitely I'll tell you that way that concept is used in core subjects. Okay, means basically let us suppose if I'm talking about some integrations or differential equations, or let us say complex numbers, then I'll discuss about potential flow or Rankine cycle, basically something like this. So that will actually connect you to the session. Okay, good evening all of you. So I missed morning session FM. Where can I get the notes? In the app you can get, and also in the Telegram channel you can find that. Okay, yeah, no issues, clear. So let us, so this is basically the schedule that we have seen. So in today's session we have covered this fluid mechanics, solid mechanics and thermodynamics, and now we are up with mathematics. Okay, and then in tomorrow again this same sequence continues for the next 3 days. So this mathematics is what we are dealing today, and of course this is our team that we have seen yesterday, and this is the first question straight away. Okay, so let us straight away go for solving of some questions, and then if you have any doubt, good, before starting my class I would like to tell you something. If you have any doubt, because मेरे को पता है कि सारे लोग डिप्लोमा से होते हैं, there could be different backgrounds, so please if you have any small doubt, doesn't matter how small it is, you can always put it in the chat box. Clear? I'll try to explain you at the best of my knowledge. Okay, so now if you see this first question, the value of limit extends to a, so let us try to solve this. Limit extends to 0, 1 by x into integral 2 to 2 plus x t plus square root of t square plus 5 dt. Correct? यही है ना question? So t square plus 5 dt. Now normally I'll ask you this question. Okay, so 4 years is every topic that is in the syllabus I'll discuss. Okay, extra topics जो होते हैं power series, okay, or generally some numerical methods में Lagrange's interpolation, regression techniques, all these questions I'll discuss. Clear? So I won't leave any topic. Within the next 5 days we are going to cover each and every topic, so that whatever might be your plans, definitely out of 15 marks you are going to, if you follow these sessions thoroughly, you will have the knowledge to easily get 12 to 13 marks. Okay, why I'm giving the 2 marks buffer is definitely होता है some tough question or some question which may not strike for you in the exam, so I'm keeping it 12 to 13 marks. Okay, so let us straight away start the questions. So this is the question. In limit extends to 0, 1 by x into integral 2 to 2 plus x t plus square root of t square plus 5 dt. So now let us suppose if you substitute x is equal to 0. For example, if you put x is equal to 0, 1 by 0 into integral 2 to 2 plus 0 is 2 t plus square root of t square plus 5 dt. Correct? So this is what you will get. Now tell me one thing, when you are calculating an integral, then if lower limit and upper limit are same, okay, so let us suppose if you when you are calculating integral, if lower limit and upper limit are same, what could be the integral value? Okay, forget about the answers. Okay, we will go in a step-by-step sequence, because when we are going through that sequence of steps, we will cover a lot of concepts. Okay, so that's why let us go in a sequence. Okay, so tell me one thing, whenever this upper and lower integrals limits are same in an integration, what is the value of that integral? 0. Correct? So this gives you a form 0 by 0. Clear? This gives you a form 0 by 0. Now it's a common knowledge for you in limits calculation. Whenever you're getting a 0 by 0 form, what you will do actually? So tell me. Yeah, of course, concept is important, right? You have seen yesterday's paper in mechanical, lot of questions were conceptual and logical actually. Okay, so please explain the basics behind every question. Yeah, definitely I'll try to explain the basics behind every question. If you have any doubt at any point, you can ask me. Clear? In the chat box. Now try to tell me, whenever you're getting 0 by 0, we'll apply L'Hospital rule known to us. Okay, now if you see this limit extends to 0, integral 2 to 2 plus x square root of t plus square root of t square plus 5 dt, this divided by x. Now you know that this is coming out to be 0 by 0 form. Now when this is 0 by 0 form, L'Hospital rule you will apply. So limit extends to 0. Now first of all, let us differentiate the denominator. It is very simple. So what is the differentiation of this denominator? 1. So derivative of denominator is 1. Okay, now how do you differentiate an integral? Okay, this is one very important concept actually. Okay, so how you actually differentiate some integration? Okay, so that I'll tell you. We have something called Newton-Leibniz rule. Okay, So this is Newton's Leibniz rule actually here. So what is this Newton's Leibniz rule tells you is d by dx of integral f of x to g of x times h of x dx. Let us suppose if you have this integration, okay, so let us suppose you have some, because it's not possible to have constants always, okay, sometimes limits of the integral can be variables, okay. So whenever you have this, how to integrate this, how to differentiate this? So this is equal to h of this function g of x into g dash of x minus h of f of x into f dash of x. Do you know composite functions? You might have studied in +1, correct? Let us suppose if I give you something like, for example, if f of x is equal to sin x and g of x is equal to, for example, say x square, for example, okay, then f of g of x will be equal to f of x square. So when f of x is sin x, f of x square is sin x square, okay. So this is how you write the composite functions, okay. So why I'm telling about composite functions is because here you will get composite functions, okay. So that's why, this is just to make you understand. Now if you see, this is equal to, so this is how you actually differentiate. Now you have to differentiate this function d by dx of integral 2 to 2 plus x square or into t plus root of t square plus 5 dt, correct? You have to differentiate this with respect to t, with respect to x actually, okay. So this integration can be written in terms of x also, no issue, okay. So this can be written, if you want, you can even integrate this in terms of x dt, okay. So this is what you can have actually, okay. If you want, you can keep in t also, no issue, d by dx of this function, okay, because this integration can be anything. This is dx. Now if you differentiate this, how will you get this? First of all, d by dx of this function is, wherever there is x, you have to replace 2 plus x, correct? So 2 plus x plus square root of 2 plus x whole square plus 5 into derivative of this 2 plus x, which is 1, minus wherever there is x, you have to keep 2 into derivative of 2. So this term is 0 actually, okay. So this gives you 2 plus x plus square root of 2 plus x whole square plus 5 actually, correct? So this is what you will actually get here. Now if you replace here, limit x tends to 0. Now the differentiation of this integral is how much? We know this is 2 plus x plus square root of 2 plus x whole square plus 5 divided by, then this is 1, okay. Now if you put x is equal to 0 in this question, then let us see what you will get. If you put x is equal to 0, 2 plus 0, 2 plus square root of 2 square plus 5, 4 plus 5, which is 9 divided by 1. So this is actually equal to 5, clear? So the answer is option C high, correct? So how many of you got answer 5? So type in the chat box, did you all understand how to actually differentiate an integral? Yes or no? Because I have intentionally kept this question because many of you know how to apply L'Hospital's rule, but at the same time many of you don't know how to differentiate an integration actually, okay. So that's why I have kept this question, clear? Understood? So did you all understand now how to apply Newton's Leibniz rule and how to calculate the differentiation of an integration? Clear? Thank you. Okay, so at any point if you have any doubt, doesn't matter how small it is, you can put it in the chat box, okay. Yeah, we will cover every extra topic, clear? Next, so let us go for the next question. So this is one question. So in this question you came to know of two concepts, L'Hospital rule and also Newton's Leibniz rule, okay, clear? Now let's go for the next question. So this is next question. Let C is equal to some function of z, z is x plus iy, x and y are real numbers of course, and I is equal to square root of -1, clear? Look, whenever you have any complex number, z is equal to x plus iy, you know x and y are real numbers, है ना? So I value is square root of -1. B, the set of complex numbers. So C is basically some set of complex numbers. Let the function f of z is equal to u plus iv for z is equal to x plus iy be analytic, okay. This word analytic is very important because I'll tell you, in syllabus of engineering sciences you have only analytic functions. You don't have the concepts of residues, Cauchy residue theorem, all these things. That's done in mechanical. Now in XC syllabus you have only analytical till analytic functions, okay. Now whenever this is analytic, look, try to understand this. Analytic function, now what is this analytic function? Look, I'll try to explain you. See here, whenever you have x and y coordinate system, for example, now let us suppose if I take a point z is equal to z naught, okay, means basically this point is some point x naught comma y naught, okay. So this complex number is represented as x naught plus I times of y naught. So this in two-dimensional space you can replace this as x naught y naught, okay. Now if you want to say some function f of z is analytic at this point, then how do you say that? At that point, if you take some small neighborhood, okay, so what's the meaning of neighborhood actually? You have to consider all these points which are close to that point, okay. Then this function should be differentiable at this orange point and also at all other points which are very close to that particular point, okay. Now practically checking whether the function is differentiable or not at each and every point is difficult for us, correct? We cannot actually do that. So for that, what we have some mathematical conditions. So what are those mathematical conditions? If this is analytic, then dou u by dou x is equal to dou v by dou y, and dou u by dou y is equal to minus dou v by dou x actually here, okay. So these are called Cauchy-Riemann equations, which are known to you generally, okay. Cauchy-Riemann equations. So morning session, when I was teaching you the potential flow, I have given you one thing. This complex potential function f of z is phi plus I times of psi, correct? In potential flow, we assume that this function is analytic, okay. So whenever this function is analytic, we know dou phi by dou x is equal to dou psi by dou y, and dou phi by dou y is equal to minus dou psi by dou x. And you know, in your Cartesian system, basically in fluid mechanics, this is x component of velocity and this is y component of velocity. Clear? So that's how these two equations are equal, because they obey the concept of this analytic function, okay. So now coming back here, now they have given you, let us continue the question, where u is given by this quantity and v is given by this quantity. If f dash of z denotes the derivative of f of z, then magnitude of f dash of minus 1 plus I whole square is dash, okay. So basically if you calculate f dash of z, then if you put z is equal to minus 1 plus I, then this square of the magnitude is what? That's what we have actually here, okay. Sir, will you cover Fourier series and sequence? Yes, everything, okay. Fourier series, sequence and series, series solutions of differential equations, diagonalization of matrices, everything I'll cover, okay, no issue. So now if you see u is given, so what is the value of u? Xy cube minus yx cube. So u is xy cube minus yx cube actually here, okay. Now tell me one thing, there is one method which is called Milne-Thomson method. How many of you remember this? So type in the chat box Milne-Thomson method, which is one very important method for potential flows also. So type in the chat box, how many of you have seen this method, Milne-Thomson method? Himanshu, Nirvan, Manikya, Abhishek, Sudipta, Arun, all of you? Correct? Yes, x is equal to z and y is equal to 0. Correct? Yes, we put x is equal to z and y is equal to 0. When I was solving these potential flow questions in Abhyas series and all, then I have explained you. But right now, if you see, what we do is f of z is u plus iv. Hai na? So what you do is differentiate partially with respect to x. So if you differentiate partially with respect to x, this implies differentiation of this function is f dash of z into dou z by dou x. So tell me one thing, whenever z is x plus iy, what is dou z by dou x? Please tell me, what is this value? All of you, type in the chat box. Type in the chat box, whenever z is x plus iy, so please type in the chat box, what is the value of this dou z by dou x? If you partially differentiate this, so please tell me with respect to x, what is the value here? Come on, type in the chat box. 1, correct? 1 plus I times of 0. So that is 1. So that's why into 1 is equal to dou u by dou x plus I times of dou v by dou x. Now, v is also given, but instead of differentiating v, what we use is, look, this dou v by dou x, Cauchy-Riemann equations. If you see, dou v by dou x is same as minus dou u by dou y, correct? So instead of writing this dou v by dou x, I am writing here minus dou u by dou y. So let us see, f dash of z is equal to dou u by dou x. So if you differentiate this partially with respect to x, y cube minus 3yx square, correct? Plus, okay, minus if you take minus I times of dou u by dou y. So this partial differentiation is 3xy square minus x cube. So this is the f dash of z. Yes or no? Yes, 1. Very good, correct. So type in the chat box. So please type in the chat box. Can I say f dash of z is equal to this value? Did you all understand till this point? Yes or no? I have just done partial differentiation and I have replaced it here. Clear? Yes or no? So type in the chat box. Yes. Now if you apply this Milne-Thomson method, in this we replace x by z and y by 0, है ना? So if you replace here, this implies f dash of z is equal to, now tell me one thing, whenever I keep y is equal to 0, this term will go to 0, this term will also go to 0, this term will also go to 0. So I have minus of minus, which is plus I times of x cube, which is z cube actually here. Clear? So if I want magnitude of f dash of z, magnitude of this is magnitude of I into magnitude of z cube can be written as mod z whole cube. If I have to write square on both sides, then I write square on both sides. Okay, so this implies f dash of z magnitude square is equal to I square, magnitude of I square is 1, so this quantity is 1 actually here. Okay, so this quantity is 1, so mod z whole power 6. Now what is the value of z at which we want this? Minus 1 plus I, correct? So if you put z is equal to minus 1 plus I, minus 1 plus I whole square, this is magnitude of minus 1 plus I whole power 6, which is square root of 2 whole power 6, which is 2 cube, which is 8 actually here. Clear? Okay, understood? Simple question. Okay, just we have differentiated, then you applied Milne-Thomson method, then out of these 4 terms, 3 terms got eliminated, we have I times of z cube. Okay, so then this is simple modulus property. Clear? Good. Any doubt at this point? Look, here I would like to tell you one very important point, because now in this year there are some MSQs which are coming. Look, try to listen this point very carefully, guys. Whenever if your function is analytic, Cauchy-Riemann equations will be satisfied, definitely, no doubt. But if Cauchy-Riemann equations are satisfied, your function need not be analytic. Okay, so please keep this point in mind. One of the example I'll discuss in somewhere in crash course, or maybe whenever we get some time I'll discuss, but z into z conjugate, this is one very good example. Okay, so for this example, Cauchy-Riemann equations will get satisfied at origin. Okay, but the function is not analytic at origin. Clear? So please keep this point in mind. Okay, just contradiction of the statement is not valid, but if function is analytic, Cauchy-Riemann equations are definitely valid. Clear? Okay. Look, many of you might be worrying, sir, my XC exam, my mechanical exam was bad, all these things. Don't worry, guys. In XC, look, the decider is mathematics, because I'll tell you what happens in XC, engineering sciences examination. Look, try to understand. Normally the two aptitude, generally maybe I may solve one question less, you may solve one question more, that's it. Almost all the people will be on equal scale, hai na? So technical subjects also, out of 22 questions, 16 to 17 questions almost everyone will solve. Only that 3-4 questions which are deciders will be varying. But if you see, many of you might have even felt that engineering sciences maths is very tough as compared to mechanical, hai na? So the main difference in marks and the main distribution of IIT seats and getting a med lies in this mathematics. Okay, so that's why if you try to learn this engineering mathematics in a good way, definitely it will boost your XC score marks by 5 to 10 marks, which can gain you some 500 to some 600 ranks forward. Okay, clear? Fine. So shall we go for the next question? So type in the chat box. In this question, did you all understand how to apply this Milne-Thomson method clearly? Everyone, whoever is on live, everyone, all of you should type in the chat box, guys, because it's an online session, so I can understand only from the chat box. Okay? Yeah. Hey, Lovely Patel, Anil Kumar, Himanshu, Mayank, all of you. Fine. So let us see this question. Good question. If the partial differential equation x plus 2 into dou square u by dou x square plus 2 times of this function plus 2 into that minus 3y square dou u by dou y is equal to 0 is parabolic on the circle x minus a whole square plus y minus b whole square is equal to r square, then the values of a, b and r are given by. Okay, so basically, sir, can you please explain last step? Definitely, last step. So here this is nothing but f dash of z is I times of z cube. So if you take modulus on both sides, normally you have this property, product of two complex numbers modulus is equal to product of individual modulus. Okay, so that's why this can be written as magnitude of I into magnitude of z cube. So magnitude of z cube can be taken as mag z whole cube. So that I have done here. Okay, so let us see this. Now I would like to give some idea actually. Look, normally if you try to write any second order partial differential equation, the general form of a second order partial differential equation is of this form. See carefully here. A into dou square u by dou x square plus b into dou square u by dou x dou y. Or sometimes you can write dou by dou x also, because in case of partial differentiation, the order of differentiation doesn't matter. Okay, means let us suppose if you have some function. First, if you differentiate with respect to x and then with respect to y, which is dou square u by dou x. Or if you do the reverse, answer remains same. Okay, so therefore, so in PDE, you please cover the solutions of heat and Laplace equations. Yes, I will cover definitely. Okay, but I think I didn't keep a question today, but tomorrow definitely I'll keep some questions of heat and wave equations. Clear? I mean heat and Laplace equations. Plus c times of dou square u by dou y square plus d times of dou u by dou x plus e times of dou u by dou y plus f times of u is equal to g, some function. Okay, now if you see, this is the general form of a partial differential equation. Okay, now here if you check this question, we have x plus 2 times of x plus y, some things in place of a b c d e, but this is how a general partial differential equation of second order looks like. Okay, now one very important thing here is this partial differential equations of second order are classified into three types. What are they? Elliptic, parabolic and hyperbolic. You know? So if b square minus 4ac is less than 0, this is elliptic in nature. Elliptic in nature. If b square minus 4ac is equal to 0, this is parabolic. These conditions are very important because both में exam में बहुत सारे बार ये questions पूछता है. Okay, so b square minus 4ac is greater than 0, so this is hyperbolic. Okay, now physically what is the meaning of these equations is, look, I'll tell you. B square minus 4ac is equal to 0 is parabolic. You know this, correct? So try to understand one thing. I'll ask you one question. Try to understand this. Yeah, many of you might have studied this heat transfer, correct, for mechanical exam. Normally if you check the heat transfer equation, we have dou square t by dou x square is equal to 1 by alpha times dou t by dou t. Okay, where alpha is the thermal diffusivity, of course, some constant. Okay, now if you check this equation, dou square t by dou x square minus 1 by alpha times dou t by dou t is equal to 0, correct, without heat generation and all. So now if you see this, in this unsteady state, we can observe one thing. A is equal to 1, b is equal to 0 because there is no dou x dou t term here, and there is no dou small t square term also, so c is equal to 0. So b square minus 4 ac is equal to 0. So this means, as per my understanding, this heat equation is parabolic in nature, है ना? So heat equation is parabolic in nature. So whenever heat equation is parabolic in nature, try to tell me one thing. In heat transfer, whenever you try to plot temperature profiles for unsteady state, can you please tell me what is the shapes that you are going to get? I'm very happy to see you, Anna. Yeah, thank you, Vijay Babu. Parabolic, no? You will get parabolic velocity profiles. You remember in heat transfer, when you are talking about slabs and all, whenever there is some heat temperature profile, so these curves are actually decided by these equations. Okay, so that's why these are called parabolic equations or hyperbolic or elliptic, depending upon the solutions. Okay, so when you solve these equations, then you will actually get the same shape of the curves of the solutions. Okay, so since this equation, if you solve, this is for the temperature, so temperature is actually parabolic. Clear? Got it? Okay, yes or no? So type in the chat box. Okay, fine. Yes. So anyhow, let us forget that story for now because mechanical exam is already finished. So let us go for this equation. Okay. Now, if this equation has to be parabolic, then this term which is here is A, then this term which is here is B, and this term which is here is C. So this is C. And remaining terms we need not bother much about. Dou u by dou y, dou u by dou x, all these things, first degree terms. Now for this equation to be parabolic, b square minus 4ac should be equal to 0, correct? So b square minus 4ac should be 0. So what does this imply? B square, so what is b? 2 times of x plus y, so 4 times of x plus y whole square minus 4 times of ac. Okay, so what is a? X plus 2 into c. So what is c? 2 times of y minus 1. Okay, so 2 times of y minus 1 is equal to 0 here. Clear? So whenever this is equal to 0, then 4 gets cancelled. If you simplify this equation slightly, x square plus y square plus 2xy minus 2 times of x plus 2 into y minus 1. So xy, okay, so we have xy plus 2y minus x minus 2. This is what we have. So if you simplify this equation, x square plus y square plus 2xy minus 2xy. So this 2xy term gets cancelled on both sides. Okay, so this is 2xy and this is minus 2xy. So minus of 2 into 2y. So minus 4y. Okay, so this is minus 4y minus of minus plus 2x minus 2 is it minus 4 actually here. Okay, so minus 4 is equal to 0. This is the equation. Now if you slightly adjust the terms, this can be written as x plus 1 whole square plus y minus 2 whole square, correct? Because when you expand x plus 1 whole square, x square plus 2x term will come. When you expand y minus 2 whole square, y square minus 4y term will come. Okay, so what is the total value of the constant? 1 plus 4, this is 5. So but the total constant has to be only 4, so this is 1 actually here. Okay, so is equal to 1. So this one can be written as 1 square. So this equation, if you see, this is of the form x minus h whole square plus y minus k whole square is equal to r square. Clear? So this is equation of a circle. Basically here, this is a circle equation. Okay, so how this is a circle equation? Because plus 4, na? 1 plus 4, 5. So 5 is there here. So 5, this is minus 4, na? So minus 2 of minus 2. This is plus 4. Okay, so this is plus 4. Yes, correct. So this is plus 4. So plus 4 is here. So because of this one, there is 1. I think this equation is correct now. Okay, yeah, this is plus 4 because minus of minus is plus. Okay, fine. So this is plus. So this is total equal to 1 square. Hai na? So now why this is a circle equation? Because what is the meaning of a circle? From a point, all these points should be at some fixed distance. Yes or no? So if this point is h comma k and if this is r, then the distance between these 2 points, which is x minus h whole square plus y minus k whole square, square root, this should be always equal to r. So if you delete this square root, if you delete this square root, here comes a square. Okay, so that's why this is the equation of a circle. So from this, what is the value of h? Minus 1, k is 2 and r is 1 actually here. Okay, so minus 1, 2 and 1 here. Clear? So that's why if you see minus 1, so here 2, 1, option B is the correct answer. Clear? So because it's given x minus a whole square plus y minus b whole square is equal to r square. So that's why a is equal to minus 1, b equal to 2 and small r is equal to 1. Minus 1, 2, 1. So that's why option B is the correct answer in this case. Clear? Okay, so did you understand what is a partial differential? What basically the solutions of partial differential equations gives you? Okay, so parabolic on a circle means this PDE passes through this circle. Yes, basically if you see on that particular circle, for any quantity, if you generate a partial differential equation, the solution of this partial differential equation will be parabolic in shape. Clear? Means for example, if let us suppose if you take this path, then on this path if you are trying to analyze some heat equation which is parabolic in nature, then definitely that generates a parabolic solutions. Okay, clear? So please type in the chat box, is this clear? Did you all understand how we decided the nature of partial differential equations? Because in many times in exams it's a common question that the type of partial equation is asked. Okay, so will there be any theory classes or only PYQ sessions? अभी time बहुत short है, so इसलिए हमें सिर्फ PYQ के sessions लेते हैं, ठीक है? And after these 3 sessions हमें new questions भी solve करते हैं. Okay, so let's go for the next question quickly. So this is one question. Let this gamma be the positively oriented cycle. What is the meaning of positively oriented cycle? We take anti-clockwise by default as the positive orientation. Okay, so let us plot that. Just a minute. So this is x, this is y, and let us suppose this is a circle. Okay, so ये हमारा circle, x square plus y square is equal to 4. Okay, so this is x square plus y square is equal to 9 दिया ना, so this is 9 in the xy plane. The value of cyclic integral over gamma 3y plus e power x into sin x, correct? So x into sin x dx plus 7x plus square root of e power y plus 2 dy. So they want this integration. Clear? in PDE only this kind is there, sir? No, we have solutions of heat and this heat and Laplace equations, which we'll solve some questions tomorrow. Okay, so since today is the first session, I thought of keeping some easy questions, to be honest. Okay, easy means not very easy, comparatively moderate questions. Okay, clear? So now let us continue this. Okay, so now if you see, this is a closed integral. Now tell me, in this integration, how many variables are involved? Tell me, in this integration, how many variables are involved here? So type in the chat box. In this integration, how many variables are involved? 2, correct? So tell me one thing. Whenever you need, we have only two variables, and if the integral is closed, can I apply any theorem to solve this integration? Very good, Rohit. We can apply this Green's theorem, correct? So Green's theorem क्या सिखाते हैं हमको? If you take Green's theorem, one of the very fantastic theorem actually, this Green's theorem is actually taken from some part of Stokes theorem. Okay, so anyhow, I'll make you explain now. So if you see, Stokes is not in XC syllabus, so I'll just teach you Green's theorem. Okay, at this point time बहुत short है, so हमें extra topics में ध्यान मत spend time for that. So if you see, cyclic integral of any closed path of this integration m dx plus n dy is equal to double integral over the region dou n by dou x minus dou m by dou y dx dy. Okay, so Green's theorem basically connects. Yeah, Stokes is more of curl. Okay, so right now we'll talk about only Green's theorem. So this is actually Green's theorem. यहाँ बहुत सारे लोगों को डाउट होता है कि सर ये n by y और m by x in exam you can actually get confused. Okay, so आप सभी को ये पता है ना, Netflix कौन कौन के साथ सब्सक्रिप्शन है बोलियो? How many of you have this subscription of Netflix? अरे बहुत सारे नया कंटेंट आता है ना. How many of you have this? Yes? Okay. From my side, I'm going to tell you. फ्रेंड का है नहीं है, लेकिन हमारा फ्रेंड का अकाउंट है ना? ठीक है. So actually what happens is, if you remember this, then just remember this n and x. Okay, for this nx combination. Okay, so if you know n is for x, then obviously you know m is for y. Clear? That's how you can actually remember this n stands with this x. Clear? Okay, so Netflix को याद में रखो. Fine. So now if you see, sometimes IIT professors ने आपको धोखा देते हैं. कैसे? देखो, instead of giving this function, they give n dy plus m dx. लोग समझते हैं कि ये m and an, and they put things in reverse order. That's it. Done. Okay. Sharing is for caring. Cool. Okay. Fine. So see here. Look, in exam, if you are applying Green's theorem, make sure that you have m dx. Look, this first function is always with the combination of x. Sometimes in exam they give you in the reverse order to make you confuse here. Okay, so please be very careful. So at that time, make sure you always treat the function which is with x as m. Okay, so that's it. Now if you see, now if you go for this question, if you apply Green's theorem, applying Green's theorem, let us suppose इस इंटीग्रल मैंने I से डिनोट किया. So I is equal to double integral. Look, this is actually the path gamma. Okay, now this is the region which is bounded by that path, है ना? So let us say this region is capital R, for example. Then integral over the region R dou by dou x of n. So n का वैल्यू क्या होता है? This is m dx and this is n dy, है ना? So this function is n and this function is m. So dou n by dou x. So what is the value of dou n by dou x? Please tell me. 7x plus e power square root of e power y plus 2 minus dou by dou y of m. Dou by dou y of m. So m क्या होता है? 3y plus e power x into sin x. So this total value dx dy or dy dx depending on the limits that you write. Okay, so now if you see, this is equal to double integral over the region R, इसका partial derivative 7 है ना, minus partial derivative of this term is 3 into dx dy. So this is 4 times of double integral over the region R dx dy. Now can anyone tell me what is the value of this integration? If you integrate this, then what will you get? Type in the chat box. What is this integration? Double integral, when here the integrand is 1 actually. So type in the chat box, what will you get? Double integration of this dx dy whenever this is 1, which is nothing but area, na? Because if you see, this is integral dA. Okay, so this dA is nothing but this dx dy. Clear? So this is 4 times of area of R. Okay, so 4 into what is the area of the circle? Radius kitna hai? So this is 9, which is 3 square, so radius is 3, so pi r square, so pi times of 9, which is 36 times of pi actually here. Clear? Look, many students are writing 9 pi. If you forget this 4, that's it, your answer will be wrong. Okay, so 36 pi is the correct answer. Clear? Fine. Okay, so 36 pi. So यहाँ दिया कि alpha pi, so alpha का value कितना होता है? 36. Clear? Fine. So did you understand how to apply Green's theorem? Actually, Green's theorem is valid only and only if the path is closed. Okay, अगर path open है तो you cannot apply Green's theorem. Okay, please keep this point in mind, because sometimes if they don't close the path, then you cannot apply Green's theorem. Okay, but generally they ask for the closed paths in exam to make the question simple. See, even these questions are given with these functions. In exam, in that mindset, what you feel when you see e power x into sin x, you feel that the question is very large and you will leave that question. Like कल मैंने discuss किया था ना dimensional analysis में, एक blast हुआ और blast का wave propagate हो रहा है, then radius is equal to k into t power a. Looking at that diagram, many people might have thought that the question is from radiation. Okay, but if you apply simple dimensional analysis, उसका आंसर मिलेगा. ठीक है? So like this, you have to always keep this simple logics and fundamental points in mind. Clear? So please keep this Netflix in mind, but not the movies you watched in Netflix. Okay? Exam खराब हो जाएगा. Fine. So let's continue with this question. Now this question is for you. Okay? So let us see. Okay, fine, good. So let's continue. Let's see with the boundary of the region given by 0 less than or equal to x less than or equal to pi, 0 less than or equal to y less than or equal to sin x. Okay, so now if you see, let us plot this. Origin x minus x, y minus y. Okay, I have intentionally kept this question because now you know what is Green's theorem. You want to apply this. Okay, so let us try x and y. 0 less than x less than or equal to pi, x less than or equal to pi. Now tell me one thing. So x has to be more than 0. So first of all, what is the line x is equal to 0? This y axis, है ना? So this is the line x is equal to 0. Similarly, x is equal to pi का line क्या होता है? यहाँ आता है ना? So this is x is equal to pi. X is equal to pi. Now the region between these two. Okay, next what about y? 0 less than or equal to y less than or equal to sin x. मेरे को एक बात बहुत क्लियर से समझते हैं कि देखो, अगर आपने sin x का ग्राफ किया तो this is 0, so sin increases and then it will decrease, है ना? This is sin function. So this is y is equal to sin x and ये लाइन यहाँ ये होता है कि y is equal to 0. Y is equal to 0. Clear? Y is equal to 0. Now tell me, if you take all these four curves, x equal to 0, x equal to pi, y equal to 0, y is equal to sin x, is this curve closed? Yes or no? This curve is closed here, correct? Can I say this curve is closed? Yes or no? This curve, whatever you have denoted with these equations, that is actually a closed curve, है ना? So whenever this curve is a closed curve, then let us calculate this integration in counterclockwise direction. Look, see carefully. In exam, if they give clockwise direction, then everything is same, but answer changes by a minus sign. Okay, because the sense of the direction changes. Clear? Please keep this point in mind. Exam में अगर उसने clockwise का पूछा तो then definitely question का analysis same होता है, लेकिन final में answer को एक minus sign add करो. ठीक है? Fine. Okay, so let's continue here. Integration over complete this path C, 2y dx plus 5x dy, है ना? So look carefully here. this is x, okay, so this is m and this is n. So this integration is equal to over the double integral dou n by dou x. So dou by dou x of 5x minus dou by dou y of 2y into dx dy. So this is equal to 5 minus 2, 3 times of integral over the region dx dy. Now this dx dy is nothing but, now from here it is a simple one variable calculus question. How do you calculate this area? Area of region R. So basically this area. How do you calculate this? So please tell me, how do you calculate this value? How do you calculate that area? Area between y equal to sin x and x axis from x equal to 0 to x is equal to pi. Strip method, correct? So instead of this, directly we can write R value is equal to integral 0 to pi sin x dx is what you can go for. Clear? So 0 to pi sin x dx is what you can go. Look, whenever there are two curves, okay, please keep this in mind. Let us suppose if you have two curves x and y, okay. Let us suppose if you have two curves, for example, if you want to find the area bounded by this between two lines, x is equal to a and x is equal to b, okay. Let us suppose मान लो कि अगर आप ये area calculate करना है, okay, and this function is y is equal to f of x and this function is y is equal to g of x, for example, then ये area होता है कि integral a to b f of x minus g of x dx, okay, ठीक है. So this is how you actually calculate the area, okay. This is generally calculated from the strip method, which I'm not dealing now because we are solving only PYQs at this moment, time थोड़ा short है. So next time अगर मैं जब crash course लेता हूँ और लेकिन if I take some extended comprehensive course, then definitely I'll take this, but right now just focus on this. So this is how you calculate this area. Now let us assume if bottom curve is x-axis, then y का value कितना होता है? So please tell me, let us suppose if g of x is your x-axis, then what is the value of y? What is the value of y? Let us suppose if g of x is your x-axis, then what is the value of y here? 0, okay. So therefore if you keep this 0 in case of x-axis, this is how you get the area of that under the curve, okay. Clear? And here you have to take care of one more important point, okay. I'll talk about that important point later. Now for this is the area. So if you integrate this cos x minus cos x within the limits 0 to pi, so minus of cos pi minus 1 minus cos 0 1, so this is 2 actually here, okay. So therefore if you substitute here 3 into 2, they have given alpha. Where is alpha? I think these are the options of some other question, maybe alpha is not mentioned anywhere in the question, ना. Sin x and alpha be the area of the region R, okay. Directly इसको alpha दिया था, so 3 alpha, okay. See, directly we do not calculate the value, so alpha value is 2 basically here in this, okay. Yeah, alpha is given in the question, but let us suppose if they don't give, then you can calculate using this way, okay. In exam, to avoid this small calculation, they have given you alpha, okay. But let us suppose if they don't give you alpha and if they put a fill in the blank, then answer is 6, okay. Fine, clear? I hope it's clear to all of you. So did you all understand thoroughly how to apply Green's theorem? So can you all solve a question if question comes from Green's theorem? Yes or no? Because every year there should be one question from vector calculus. Normally this question will be either from Green's theorem, majority it is from Green's theorem. Otherwise questions comes from directional derivative, or if both these misses, questions comes from some basics of vector calculus, okay, like dot product, cross product, ये सब. सर थोड़ा slow बताइए please. Okay, so I'll definitely tell slowly. Lekin one thing I want to tell you, my Hindi is not very good because I am basically from South, and recently I started speaking in Hindi. Of course I have few friends from North India at IITM, but at that point we all used to speak in English. So recently I started it in Hindi. So my Hindi will be like Shah Rukh Khan speaking Tamil in Chennai Express movie, okay. So please adjust for some time, and I pray to God that he gives you strength to understand my Hindi for some time, at least for the upcoming 2-3 months, and then after I'll start taking sessions in complete Hindi, okay. Fine, I hope you can understand, right? I'm from Andhra Pradesh, okay. Sir, your Hindi is much better, sir. Okay, thank you then. Sir, थोड़ा थोड़ा Hindi will be doable. Doable क्या है? So your Hindi is awesome. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to trying to speak Hindi for you guys, because many of you are facing little difficulty if the class is in 100% English. So that's why I'm discussing this, okay, in Hindi. Fine. Okay, so let's continue. So if you can understand against them, most possibly you have already 1 or 2 marks already in your account. Okay, తెలుగులో చెప్పండి సార్, పర్లేదు, అప్పుడు మిగతా వాళ్ళకి అర్థం కాదు. ఓకే, I understand total 4 languages and I speak 3 languages. Okay, now let us come here. If the numerical approximation of the value of the integral 0 to 4 2 power alpha x dx using trapezoidal rule with 2 sub intervals is 9. Okay, so we have used 2 sub intervals. Then the value of real constant alpha, so alpha is given here, so they want what is the value of alpha. Okay, first of all, sir kya baat kiya sir? I told that if I speak in Telugu, then majority of the students don't understand. Okay, that's what I told. Fine. सर सुबह आप FM की क्लास ले हो तो सोते कब हो? 3 to 8 I am sleeping for some time. Okay, no issue. So now if you see this, so trapezoidal rule, first of all let me ask you this, how many of you have this misconcept in mind that numerical methods में सारा formulas ही होते हैं, कुछ logic भी नहीं है? How many of you have this thing in your mind? Because numerical methods में बहुत सारे formulas आते हैं ना actually. मी सुदीप्ता, यस सर मी. देखो न्यूमेरिकल मेथड्स में हर फॉर्मूला के बाद बहुत ज्योमेट्रिकल और कैलकुलस के साइड में एक्सप्लेनेशन है एक्चुअली. ओके, सो ट्रेपेजॉइडल रूल, न्यूटन रैप्सन मेथड, एवरीथिंग दैट यू टेक, पार्शियल डिफरेंशियल इक्वेशंस और ऑयलर्स इक्वेशन, वंगी-कुट्टा मेथड्स, व्हाटएवर यू टेक, डेफिनेटली numerical methods in each and every formula you have some background from calculus or from what do you say, geometry. Clear? So I'll try to explain you one thing. Okay, I'll just, since there is a question of trapezoidal rule, I'll try to explain one simple logic of trapezoidal rule. Okay, first of all tell me this thing, how many of you know why trapezoidal rule is called trapezoidal rule? How many of you know this? Type in the chat box. सर इस लैग्रांजेस एंड न्यूटन इंटरपोलेशन इंपॉर्टेंट? हाँ, समटाइम्स क्वेश्चंस आते हैं जनरली. ओके, 3-4 साल में एक बार आता है. नो आइडिया? हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू नो व्हाई ट्रेपेजॉइडल रूल इज कॉल्ड ट्रेपेजॉइडल रूल? फिटिंग कर्व इज लीनियर, एरिया अंडर ट्रेपेजॉइड, यस, नो, मी, फाइन. ओके, लेट मी एक्सप्लेन यू. ओके, ओनली फॉर्मूला मगअप, नो, ओके फाइन, नो इश्यू. देखो, आई विल एक्सप्लेन यू. फर्स्ट थिंग दैट इज, guys look here, try to understand carefully. Let us suppose I have a curve something like this. Okay, y is equal to f of x, y is equal to f of x. So let us suppose yahan x is equal to a and here x is equal to b. So trapezoidal rule का फॉर्मूला क्या होता है? इंटीग्रल a to b f of x dx is equal to h by 2 times of y0 plus yn plus 2 times of y1 plus y2 and so on plus yn minus 1. यही होते हैं ना फॉर्मूला. सो टाइप इन द चैट बॉक्स, जब लोग ने फॉर्मूला मगअप किया था वो लोग प्लीज कंफर्म मी, इज दिस द फॉर्मूला? स्लोप रेक्टेंगुलरली एडिशन गिव्स ट्रेपेजॉइडल एरिया. ओके, आई विल एक्सप्लेन यू क्लियरली. ओके, फाइन. सो सी हियर, oh, lot of Magda people are confirming the formula. Good, thank you. So no, actually that formula is correct. Why the formula has taken that part? Okay, so let me explain you. First of all, what you do is, this is y0, this is yn, and you will divide this into n parts, n sub intervals, है ना? So you will divide this into n sub intervals. So इसका value होते हैं y1, y2, y3, y4 and so on, yn minus 1 तक होते हैं. Okay, so now if you take the first strip, okay, for example if you take the first strip that is here, let us suppose the first strip is something like this and the curve connecting these 2 points is something like this. Okay, so means I have taken this small part. Okay, this small part actually in the first part. Okay, now if you see, if you call this point A and if you call this point B, if step size is h, this difference in x is h, है ना? So this length is h, this is y0, this is y1. Okay, now in trapezoidal rule, what we do is, why this is called trapezoidal rule is basically we will actually connect these points. We will actually connect these points with the help of a straight line. Okay, so whenever the h is very small, the curve and straight line both give the same value. Okay, approximately the same value. How do you know? Newton's law of viscosity पता है ना? Thin gaps में velocity का profile क्या लेते हैं आप? Linear velocity लेते हैं ना? So why linear velocity? Because within that small gap, even if there is some curve, the straight line and the curve gets merged on each other. Correct? So that's why if you see, this curve is actually fitted by a straight line, and that's why this order of fitting polynomial in trapezoidal rule. Okay, so order of fitting polynomial. So you are fitting by a straight line, and the degree of straight line is linear equation. Actually, the degree of linear equation is 1. So that's why we call order of the fitting polynomial is 1. Okay, so tell me one thing, whenever this is a straight line, this is a trapezium. Yes, no? Correct? So what is this area? If you take a0, area of a trapezium is half h into y0 plus y1. So this is area of the first part. Okay, so similarly, if you take all other parts, this is actually the area, the shaded area means basically this complete area. So that complete area is equal to h by 2 into y0 plus y1. Similarly, the second rectangle will be, second trapezium will be equal to h by 2 times of y1 plus y2. Third trapezium will be h by 2 times of y2 plus y3, and so on. Final trapezium will be yn minus 1 plus yn. Okay, now if you see this formula and this formula, both are same actually. Okay, because h by 2 is common in all the terms, so you have taken h by 2. This y0 and yn come only one time, except y0 and yn, all other terms comes twice. y1 y2 y2. So इसलिए सब terms के एक 2 multiplication था. ठीक है, so that's how you actually get the trapezoidal rule. Okay, it is called trapezoidal rule because you approximate this area to be a trapezium. Clear? That's it. Fine. Now, do you have to mug up trapezoidal rule formula? Tell me. No, na? So that's why you have to look at the concepts behind this. Okay, जब मैं crash course लेता हूँ और लेकिन जब time आते हैं मैंने पूरा comprehensive course लेता हूँ, तब I'll explain you each and every point. Okay, fine. Okay, I just hope इस बार trapezoidal rule पे question आ जाएगा. Definitely. Okay, even I wish that question comes from trapezoidal rule. Okay, because if question comes from trapezoidal, then all of you will be answering it. Okay, even I'll be very happy then. Please tell in Hindi also. Okay, I'll try to reply. Okay, so anyhow, so आपको formula पता है? Now this is the same thing what I have written here. Now basically in question it is given that using only 2 subintervals. Okay, so 2 subintervals means you have only you have splitted the complete area. Let us suppose if this is xy, 2 power alpha x is something like this, then you have splitted this into only 2 subintervals. Okay, so when you split this into only 2 subintervals, this is y0, this is y2, and this is y1. So what will be the area or that integration value? Integral 0 to 4 2 power alpha x dx is equal to, tell me one thing, this is x is equal to 0, this is x is equal to 4. So if you want to split only to 2 steps, 2 subintervals, what should be the step size? Means what should be this difference? So please tell me. Forget about the answer, we'll see what is the answer later. Okay, so now tell me, if total x is changing from 0 to 4, and if you have to split that only into 2 subintervals, only 2 parts, then what is step size value? H value 2, है ना? So this is 2. So therefore if you see, h is 2, so 2 by 2 into y0 plus yn. So when x is equal to 0, y0 is 2 power 0 into alpha into 0, which is 1. y1 is equal to 2 power alpha into x value is 2. So this is 2 power 2 alpha, and y2 is equal to 2 power alpha into 4. So this is 2 power 4 alpha. Okay, so you got y0, y1, y2 values. Okay, y0 is nothing but f of x at this point, y1 is nothing but f of x at this point, like that. So y0 plus yn, y0 plus last term 2 power 4 alpha plus 2 times of remaining terms, so 2 times of this term 2 power 2 alpha. Okay, so this is what you have. Now दिया कि ये इंटीग्रल का वैल्यू 9. Okay, so 9 is equal to, this is 1 anyhow, so 1 is 9 is equal to 1 plus, observe carefully one thing here, one small adjustment will make this question very easy. 2 power 4 alpha I am writing as 2 power 2 alpha whole square. Can I write this? Yes or no? 7th class में आता है ना, a power m whole power n is equal to a power mn, पता है? So that's why this 4 can be written as 2 alpha whole square plus 2 times of 2 power 2 alpha. Clear? So this implies 9 is equal to 2 power 2 alpha plus 1 whole square. Okay, so this is what we have directly. Okay, so therefore 2 power 2 alpha plus 1 is equal to square root of 9, which is 3. So 2 power 2 alpha is equal to 2. That's it. Okay, so 2 alpha का value होता है 1 and alpha value is 1 by 2, 0.5 बस. Clear? So did you understand this very clearly? एग्जाम में बहुत सारे लोग यहां तक आते हैं क्योंकि ये फॉर्मूला मगअप किया, सो वेरी गुड, सो दे कम टिल हियर, देन दे विल सफर टू सॉल्व दिस इक्वेशन क्योंकि एक क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन था. ओके, पर लेकिन अगर आपने स्मॉल एडजस्टमेंट किया तो ये कन्वर्ट होता है कि कंप्लीट इंटीग्रल की तरह. ठीक है, फाइन. ओके, सो डिड यू ऑल अंडरस्टैंड दिस? सो टाइप इन द चैट बॉक्स हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू हैव एंजॉयड दिस क्वेश्चन, एंजॉयड दिस कन्वर्शन. All of you, please type in the chat box. Okay, even I have enjoyed solving. Okay, now I have so many heart symbols. Good, thank you. Okay, so what is the value? Round off to one decimal place, 0.5 bus. Okay, so next question. देखो, let the transformation y of x is equal to e power x into v of x. Reduce the ordinary differential equation which is given here, x into d square y by dx square plus 2 into 1 minus x into this plus x minus 2 into y to ax into d square v by dx square plus 2 beta dv by dx plus 3 gamma v is equal to 0, where alpha, beta, gamma are real constants. Then the arithmetic mean of alpha, beta, gamma 2021 में आया था. Look, 2 power 2 alpha common लेने वाला था सर. We cannot actually take 2 power 2 alpha. Yeah, even if you want to substitute, you can substitute 2 power 2 alpha equal to t and आप एक quadratic equation को solve करना है. ठीक है? So anyhow, this is the direct way. So let us solve this question. Look, एग्जाम में पहले क्वेश्चन को ध्यान से पढ़ो. ठीक है, क्योंकि अगर आप क्वेश्चन को पढ़ाए तो आपको पता चलेगा कि क्या करना है. ओके, विदाउट रीडिंग द क्वेश्चन कंप्लीटली इफ यू ट्राई टू अटेम्प्ट, समटाइम्स यू मे एंड अप विद रॉन्ग आंसर्स. ओके, लुक, इन दिस क्वेश्चन you need not use anything, simple logic, 7th class substitution is what you have to use. Okay, so see, let the transformation y of x is equal to e power x into v of x reduces this equation to this equation. मीनिंग क्या है? अगर इस इक्वेशन में आपने y के जगह में इस e power x into v of x सब्स्टिट्यूट किया तो ये इक्वेशन वैसा हो जाएगा, है ना. सो लेट अस सी, अगर इफ यू गेट दैट देन अल्फा बीटा गामा का वैल्यूज निकालना है, उससे अरिथमेटिक मीन कैलकुलेट करना है. सो लेट अस सी, व्हाट इज y डैश ऑफ x? e power x into v dash of x plus v of x into e power x. So this is e power x times of v dash of x plus v of x. Okay, now what is y double dash of x? इसको और एक बार डिफरेंशिएट करना है, e power x into v double dash of x plus v dash of x plus second term into differentiation of first term. Okay, so v dash of x plus v of x into e power x, differentiation is e power x. So अगर आप e power x कॉमन लिया तो दोनों टर्म्स से v double dash of x plus v dash of x plus v dash of x, total 2 times of v dash of x plus v of x, है ना. So now since you have d square y by dx square, you got the value of d square y by dx square. This dy by dx can be replaced with this, then you can get the values of alpha, beta and gamma. Okay, so अब let us write this equation, x into d square y by dx square plus 2 times of 1 minus x into dy by dx plus x minus 2 times of y is equal to 0, है ना. So let us see, x into d square y by dx square का वैल्यू क्या है इस टर्म है ना. So e power x into v double dash of x plus 2 times of v dash of x plus v of x plus v of x. Okay, next plus 2 times of 1 minus x into dy by dx का value क्या है, e power x into this term. So e power x into v dash of x plus v of x plus x minus 2 times of y, x minus 2 into y का substitution क्या दिया, e power x into v of x, e power x into v of x is equal to 0. Correct? This is what they have given. बहुत डेंजरस क्वेश्चन लगा है, लेकिन बहुत सिंपल क्वेश्चन है, लेकिन आपने सब्स्टिट्यूशन कुछ केयरफुली करना है. ठीक है. e power x is constant in all the terms, so e power x is constant. Then let us now differentiate this. X into v double dash of x plus 2x into v dash of x plus x into v of x. Okay, then plus 2 into this complete term, so 2v dash x plus 2 times of v of x. Okay, then minus 2x into v dash of x minus 2x into v of x, then plus x into v of x minus 2 times of v of x is equal to 0. Okay, so simple term. So if you simplify this, what are the terms that gets cancelled? You can see carefully. 2x into v dash of x minus 2x into v dash of x. So these two terms gets cancelled. X into v of x into v of x minus 2x into v of x. So this term cancels these two terms. Okay, then we have 2v of x minus 2v of x. So these two terms also gets cancelled. Then this equation got converted to x into v double dash of x plus 2 times of v dash of x. That's it, right? Every term got 0. So this is equal to 0. So now if you compare this with this equation, alpha into x d square by dx square, alpha into x d square v by dx square plus beta 2 beta into dv by dx plus 3 gamma times v, 3 gamma times v is equal to 0. Okay, now if you compare these two equations, what are the values of alpha beta gamma? Type करो जल्दी. अल्फा का वैल्यू क्या होता है? अल्फा इज 1 है ना. सो बीटा का वैल्यू क्या होता है? बीटा इज ऑल्सो 1. और गामा का वैल्यू, इस इक्वेशन में v का टर्म भी नहीं है, सो गामा इज 0. सो अर्थमेटिक मीन अल्फा प्लस बीटा प्लस गामा बाई 3. So 1 plus 1 by 3, which is 2 by 3. So now if you see, round off to 3 decimal places. This question मैंने look, this question is very simple. I need not substitute actually, है ना, because if I tell you to substitute, you can do this question. But why I have kept this question is there is one very important reason. Okay, so see what I'll tell you. Round off to 3 decimal places. अगर आपने 2 by 3 को 3 decimals में round off किया तो वैल्यू क्या आएगा? If you round off to 3 decimal places, value, what will be the value? 0.667 है ना. So this value is 0.667. Yes, 0.667. 2021 में कुछ लोग यही किया कि they have written 0.67. Okay, this is 0.67. This is what people written. Look, if they haven't asked number of decimal places, then both are correct, obviously. But in that year there is a twist, 2021 है ना. So let us see, I will show you what is the twist. Gate 2023, Gate 2023. Okay, Gate 2023 ऑफिशियल वेबसाइट, डाउनलोड इंफॉर्मेशन. 2021 का एक्सी पेपर चाहिए मेरे को, 2021 इंजीनियरिंग साइंसेस. ओके, मिला पेपर. कुछ क्वेश्चंस को फॉरवर्ड करो, मैथ्स का क्वेश्चंस आते हैं. ओके, तो इफ यू सी, ये क्वेश्चन मैंने कल सॉल्व करता हूं लिमिट का. लिख, दिस इज द क्वेश्चन. ओके, सो 6th क्वेश्चन है ना. सो मैथ्स में 6th क्वेश्चन. ओके, सो फर्स्ट 10 क्वेश्चंस आर एप्टीट्यूड, देन 6th क्वेश्चन इन मैथमेटिक्स. ओके, yes, that's it na. 6th question in mathematics and first 10 questions are aptitude. So if you check the answer key, look, मैंने आंसर की खुला हूं. Okay, after every section they have given na. Okay, so if you see sixth question, okay, so answer of sixth question, if you check answer of sixth question, see thoda carefully. Sixth question, NAT 0.665 to 0.668. Okay, so 0.665 to 0.668. Now tell me one thing, if you by mistake round off to 2 decimal places and if you write 0.67, will you get marks or will you lose marks? Tell me. सर आपका 2021 में ये 40 आया था ना? हाँ आया था. Tell me, if you write 0.67 without looking at number of decimals, will you get marks or will you lose marks? You will lose marks. Okay, देखो इतना बड़ा कैलकुलेशन किया था आपने बहुत मेहनत करके, पर लेकिन लास्ट में ये सिर्फ डेसिमल्स नहीं देखा तो पूरा कैलकुलेशन एंड पूरा टाइम is waste. Okay, so that's why you have to look at number of decimal places carefully. Clear? That's why I have actually, you know, every time I talk about this question 2 by 3 0.667, then if you see this is the reason. Okay, 0.665 to 0.668. अगर आपने 0.67 लिखा तो that's it, complete effort. This, you know, it takes so much time to do this substitution, but after doing all these things your marks gets lost. Okay, so please be careful. Okay, I'm telling you these many good points, nothing in the chat box. At least reply, yeah? Okay, fine, good. So our job got finished. Guys, do you want me to explain about calculator? क्योंकि you know बहुत सारे questions में calculator का use भी होता है. So if you want me to show the calculations, then I'll open a get calculator. जब यहाँ calculations आते हैं मैं get calculator में दिखाता हूँ. Okay? Because many students, you know, they lose marks in, you know, they commit some mistakes while using the gate calculator. So definitely, you know, we have to put some effort in using calculator. You're amazing, sir. Your FMC is Dasu. Okay, some Hindi word maybe, I don't understand. Okay, thank you. Please show some calculation in calculator. ठीक है, जब calculations आते हैं मैं तब calculator खुल के calculations करके दिखाता हूँ. ठीक है? So let's continue. Basically point, so ये गलत है. Okay, मत लिखना. So this question बहुत अच्छा question है. मैंने wait करता हूँ आप लोग solve करके आंसर बताइए. Let f of x be a continuous function such that integral 0 to x square f of t dt is equal to x square into 1 plus x square. So f of 2 का वैल्यू कितना होता है? यही है क्वेश्चन, बस सिंपल क्वेश्चन. 2 मिनट कैलकुलेट करके बताइए आंसर क्या होगा. दासो मीन्स क्या का इन तेलुगु. ओके फाइन, थैंक यू. इट मीन्स फायर. ओके, थैंक यू. न्यूमेरिकल मेथड्स में हाउ टू इंक्रीज स्पीड इन कैलकुलेशंस. स्पीड इन कैलकुलेशंस लाइक न्यूटन राफ्सन मेथड में थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा, लेकिन बहुत सारे अदर मेथड्स में कैलकुलेशंस बहुत जल्दी आते हैं. सर टुमारो इन एफएम व्हिच टॉपिक्स विल बी कवर? ऑल टॉपिक्स बेसिकली. आज सुबह मैंने रेनॉल्ड्स ट्रांसपोर्ट थ्योरम, लीनियर मोमेंटम और एंगुलर मोमेंटम का क्वेश्चन सॉल्व किया, एंड कल भी मैंने पोटेंशियल फ्लो का कुछ अच्छा क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करते हैं और कंट्रोल वॉल्यूम एनालिसिस का क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करते हैं. फिर क्या लगा मैंने पीपीटी में, हाँ काइनेमेटिक्स का कुछ अच्छा क्वेश्चन लगते हैं. ओके, एंड ये नॉर्मली दीज आर द टफ टॉपिक्स ना. सो डायमेंशनल एनालिसिस में कुछ अच्छा क्वेश्चन है कल. ओके, सो मिस मत करना. Leibniz, correct? 5 is the correct answer. Look, I will solve this question. You will all definitely enjoy it. Okay, so see, मैंने क्लास के बिगनिंग में बताया था न्यूटन्स लेबनिट्ज रूल है ना. सो न्यूटन लेबनिट्ज रूल. सो अगर लगाया तो d by dx इंटीग्रल 0 to x square f of t dt is equal to d by dx of x square into 1 plus x square. Okay, so this is what you have. Hats off your efforts, sir. Thank you, lovely Patel. So now if you differentiate this with respect to x, then f of this function x square into इस function का derivative 2x minus lower limit f of 0 into derivative of 0 which is 0 is equal to first function into derivative of second function plus second function into derivative of first function है ना. This is what you have. Okay, so this gives you 2x into f of x square is equal to, ये दोनों टर्म्स से अगर 2x कॉमन लिया तो we get x square plus 1 है ना. So let us cancel 2x and 2x. So f of x square is equal to 1 plus 2x square. This is what you have. Okay, अगर आपने x square equal to 2 substitute किया तो this implies f of 2 is equal to 1 plus 2 times of 2 which is 5. बस उतना ही है सॉल्यूशन. ओके, f of x को कैलकुलेट करने की जरूरत भी नहीं है इस क्वेश्चन में. ठीक है, ये क्वेश्चन जेईई मेंस लेवल का या थोड़ा सा ओके वेरी समवट इजी क्वेश्चन कंपैरेटिवली. फाइन, इस क्वेश्चन देख के बहुत सारे लोग समझते हैं कि अगर हम f of x कैलकुलेट करना है क्या. ओके, सो वी नीड नॉट एक्चुअली कैलकुलेट f of x. अगर आपने सिंपली न्यूटन लीबनिज़ रूल लगाया तो आपको क्वेश्चन 3-4 स्टेप्स में आते हैं. ओके, फाइन, सो लेट्स सॉल्व दिस क्वेश्चन. हाँ, ये बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेश्चन है. लॉकडाउन में हम सब यही किया. लॉकडाउन में सभी लोग घर में बैठा था ना, सो उस टाइम पे क्या किया, हमें एक डाई लेके लूडो खेला है ना, ऑनलाइन से फ्रेंड्स से कनेक्ट करके भी खेला था. हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू हैव डन दिस? मेरे को स्ट्राइक है नहीं किया. 2020 एंड 2021 हमें लूडो ये सब गेम्स खेला ना, सो वही है, वैसा एक क्वेश्चन था. ओके, लेकिन बहुत सारा इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेश्चन था मैथमेटिक्स प्रोबेबिलिटी में ये क्वेश्चन. ओके, yeah, we have played Ludo, na? Fine. So see here. Players A and B take turns to throw a fair dice with 6 faces. Okay. If A is the first player to throw, then the probability of B being the first one to get a 6. लॉकडाउन में क्या हुआ, सभी स्टेट्स ने स्टेट एग्जाम्स बोर्ड एग्जाम्स कैंसिल किया है ना, सभी को पास किया. तो व्हाट स्टूडेंट्स डज, सिटिंग एंड थ्रोइंग डाइस, दैट्स इट. ओके, लेकिन हमको खेलने का टाइम नहीं है अभी, एग्जाम सिर्फ 5-6 दिन में. ओके, सो लेट अस सॉल्व दिस. 2.12. ओके, आंसर 2.12. व्हाट इज द आंसर? अरे दे आस्क्ड प्रोबेबिलिटी ना, प्रोबेबिलिटी हाउ कैन यू ऐड 2.2? कैन प्रोबेबिलिटी बी मोर देन 1? लुक, अगर एग्जाम में आपको प्रोबेबिलिटी क्वेश्चन का आंसर मींस लाइक व्हेन दे आस्क यू प्रोबेबिलिटी, अगर आपके आंसर 1 से ज्यादा आया तो देन डेफिनेटली आपकी कैलकुलेशन में कुछ गलती है. ओके, प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑलवेज 0 और 1 के बीच में होते हैं. ठीक है, ओके, सो दैट्स व्हाई प्लीज बी केयरफुल. जब आपने प्रोबेबिलिटी का आंसर एंटर करे, सो प्लीज चेक आंसर 0 और 1 के बीच में होना चाहिए. ठीक है, फाइन. Yeah, because it's already night 12:15, so I'm making some fun. Okay, morning FM का class बहुत serious है actually, so it's already 1 hour 15 minutes that we started this session. Okay, 75 minutes almost. Okay, fine. So let us continue here. Fine. Okay, so let us continue. Let us finish this question. So now try to understand carefully here. Okay, let's get back. Now, when you roll a die, what is the probability of getting a 6? So type in the chat box. When you roll a die, what is the probability of getting a 6 actually? अगर आपने एक डाई रोल किया तो 6 आने के लिए probability क्या है? 1/6 है ना. So probability of getting a 6 is 1/6. So अगर 6 आने की probability 1/6 है तो 6 नहीं आने का probability क्या है? 6 complement. So tell me, 5/6 है ना. So अगर आपने डाई लगा तो अगर you will get 6 or you will get another 5 numbers. So probability is 5/6. Now see carefully. Game A ने start किया था. If A is the first player to roll or to throw, so game is started by A. Then they are asking probability of B being the first one to get a 6. Now total how many ways will be there here? Okay, so see here carefully. Look, A throws a die. If it is 6, then the game ends. Okay, so but we want what is the probability that B gets the 6 first. Okay, so we want B to win. Okay, let us suppose if who gets the 6 is winning the game, then we want actually the probability that what is the probability that actually B wins the game if A start first. Okay, now what are the number of ways this can happen? Infinitely many ways. Okay, look, I'll tell you. Look, if you take these cases, let us suppose A is event of A getting a 6, A getting a 6, and B is event of B getting a 6. Okay, B getting a 6. Look, this is one very important question, and both are frequently asked question hai. Okay, in mechanical, XE, civil, whatever the branches you take, this question from probability is one of the very standard repetitive model. Okay, so please focus. Now, if you see, A has started the game, but you want 6 to come for B. Okay, so whenever A rolls, he should not get a 6, and when he don't get a 6, he give the dice to B, so B should get a 6. Hai na? So A complement is event of A not getting a 6 intersection, and B is probability of B getting a 6. So if this happens, then definitely game ends. B wins the game. Okay, because B gets the 6 first. This can happen. Or A didn't get a 6 and B also didn't get a 6, and again A didn't get a 6 and then B got a 6. Means B got a 6 in the second attempt. Okay, this is one case. Or A third didn't get a 6, then B didn't get a 6, then again A tried, he did not get a 6, B also did not get a 6, A also did not get a 6, and finally B got a 6. This game, this is one possibility. Okay, similarly this can go till infinity. Yes or no? Correct? So please tell me, can this happen? Because you never know when you get a 6, so this can happen infinitely. Yes or no? Means this is one possibility, this is one possibility, this is one possibility. Like this you have infinite number of possibilities for B to win the game. Yes, no? Did you all understand how I have written this? Total probability of winning. Total possibilities. Total possibilities is this. Yes or no? Clear? Forget about the formulas. Okay, we will see what is the value. First of all, did you all understand the concept? Did you all understand how all these are the possibilities for B to get a 6 first? Yes or no? So will you discuss all PYQs till 2010? Please discuss them in all these 5 days. Yes, definitely I'll discuss. Okay. Yes. Now, probability of B to get a 6 first is equal to P of A complement intersection B, P of A complement intersection B complement intersection A complement intersection B, plus P of A complement intersection B complement intersection A complement B complement again intersection A complement intersection B, plus and so on infinity. Now tell me one thing. Think carefully and tell me. If A is throwing the die, he is not getting a 6, and if B is throwing a die, he is also not getting 6 sometimes. So will the probability of getting 6 changes from A to B, or will it remain same? Tell me. It means the probability of getting 6 when A is throwing and the probability of getting 6 when B is throwing, will it be same or will it be different? It will be same, na? Because die don't have any partiality. Correct? When even if A throws or B throws, the probability or the possibilities of getting 6 is actually same. Okay, so therefore this can be written as, and tell me one more thing. A has thrown and then he has given to B, then the outcome of B is not dependent on A. Correct? Every throw is independent, so that's why all these events are independent events. Okay, so therefore probability of B to win or B to get a first 6, B to get a first 6 is equal to, look, P of A complement intersection B is nothing but P of 6 complement intersection 6. Okay, whoever throws it doesn't matter. In the first trial it's not 6 and in the second trial it is 6, plus P of 6 complement intersection 6 complement intersection 6 complement intersection 6 complement intersection 6, plus 6 complement intersection 6 complement intersection 6 complement into 6. So all these things will go on. Okay, so this is nothing but probability of not getting a 6 5 by 6 and into, so probability of getting a 6 is 1 by 6, plus this 5 by 6 will come for 3 times now, into last time if you get a 6, this is 1 by 6. In the next time you'll get 5, so 5 by 6 whole power 5 into 1 by 6, and this series will go on till infinitely many terms. Okay, so when this series goes till infinitely many terms, you can take 5 by 6 into 1 by 6 common, then this will be 1 plus 5 by 6 whole square plus 5 by 6 whole power 4 plus and so on. Now tell me one thing, isko kya kehte hai? What is this? What is this series actually here? So type in the chat box. What is this series here? It's called geometric progression. पता है ना, हमें क्लास 10 या क्लास 11 में पढ़ा है. क्लास 10 एंड क्लास 11 में पढ़ाया था ज्योमेट्रिक प्रोग्रेशन। ओके, सो ये ज्योमेट्रिक प्रोग्रेशन का सम क्या होता है? 5/6 इंटू 1/6 इंटू, मैं आपको देता हूं, अगर इफ यू हैव द ज्योमेट्रिक सीरीज लाइक दिस ए आर प्लस ए आर स्क्वायर एंड सो ऑन इन्फिनिटी, ये सम होता है कि ए बाई 1 माइनस आर। लेकिन इस इक्वेशन लिखने के लिए एक कंडीशन था, सो वो कंडीशन है कि मैग्नीट्यूड ऑफ दिस आर शुड बी लेस देन 1। ओके, सो मॉड्यूलस ऑफ आर शुड बी लेस देन 1। ओके, एक्चुअली इफ दिस टर्म इज वेरी मच इंपॉर्टेंट। अगर यहां 5/6 के प्लेस में अगर 7/6 हुआ तो ये फॉर्मूला you cannot apply, okay, because this modulus should be less than 1, क्योंकि look, whenever, yeah, I'll tell you, if you have this geometric progression, for example n terms, okay, इसका सम होता है कि 1 minus r power n by 1 minus r। पता है, अगर geometric series में n terms total, if there are n terms, then the sum of these n terms is equal to this summation। देखा कभी भी? आपको पता है ना, मेरे पास अमूल्यरत्न साहब भी है एक्चुअली, ठीक है, एप्टीट्यूड हिंदी से करने आओ, ठीक है सर, बताइए ना। ओके, so type in the chat box, you can see this in 11th class actually। okay, so basically एक नाम था, आपको याद है तो, प्रिंसिपल ऑफ, आप सभी लोगों ने ये स्टेटमेंट लिखा था, प्रिंसिपल ऑफ फाइनाइट मैथमेटिकल इंडक्शन, लिखा है ये स्टेटमेंट कभी आंसर शीट में? बाय द प्रिंसिपल ऑफ फाइनाइट मैथमेटिकल इंडक्शन सो एंड सो इज इक्वल टू सो एंड सो, एक बड़ा इक्वेशन इज इक्वल टू एक छोटा सा इक्वेशन, है ना, लिखा था ना। सो एक्चुअली यू कैन शो दिस रिजल्ट लाइक दिस। नाउ हाउ दिस हैपेंस इज, सी हियर केयरफुली, व्हेन n tends to infinity and this small r is less than 1, whenever small r is less than 1, look what happens, this goes to infinite series like this। okay, so when n is tending to infinity, so when n tends to infinity, this sum of n terms will go to sum of infinite terms, this is what I have written। and tell me one thing, if you take r is less than 1, for example, let us suppose if you take 0.5, 0.5 square will be less than 0.5, yes or no? Correct? So if you take any number which is less than 1 and if you raise the power infinity, for example 0.5 whole power infinity, what could be the value? Infinity is very large number, for example, okay, so then 0.5 power infinity becomes, what is the value actually? Whenever r is less than 1, so whenever r is less than 1, this value power infinity will be 0 na, 0 na, so whenever this is 0, a by 1 minus r। okay, so that's how this sum of geometric series is a by 1 minus r when common ratio is less than 1। clear? fine, okay, a by 1 minus r वैसे होता है। okay, so now if you see, anyhow ये सब बेसिक्स है, मैंने आपको कल कुछ सीरीज देता हूं, so उस सीरीज से आपको एग्जाम में हेल्प हो जाएगा। so now if you see here, ये फर्स्ट टर्म 1 minus r, common ratio is 5/6 square। okay, so now if you simplify this, 5/36 into 1 by 1 minus 25/36, so this is total 5/36 into 36/11। okay, so 36 gets cancelled, 5/11 is the correct answer। okay, so 5/11 का वैल्यू कितना होता है? कैलकुलेटर मैंने खोला था, कहाँ, अच्छा मैंने क्लोज किया, एक मिनट, मैं कैलकुलेटर खुल के दिखाता हूं, गेट कैलकुलेटर नहीं है, ओके, गेट कैलकुलेटर, हाँ या फाइन, ओके ओके फाइन, 5/11 का वैल्यू 0.45। ओके, अरे मनोज 0.55 कैसा आया था आपको? 0.45 इज द करेक्ट आंसर, ठीक है, सो 0.45 इज द करेक्ट आंसर। अरे अगर यहाँ 10 है तो 0.5 आएगा ना, सो यहाँ 11 है तो 0.5 के ज्यादा कैसे आते हैं, सो 0.45 इज द करेक्ट आंसर, ठीक है। लुक, एग्जाम में आपको you have to check for simple calculations, okay, like for example with some common thinking, okay, like for example let us suppose in exam by mistake you got 0.55, you should think अरे अगर 10 हुआ तो 0.5 होते हैं, so अगर 11 हुआ तो 0.5 के ज्यादा वैल्यू कैसे आते हैं, this point you should think, okay, so extension में आप ऐड कर लो कैलसी, okay, मजा आ गया, fine, good. Okay, so 0.0.45, clear? So this is the calculator. I want to tell you one simple example guys here. Okay, I'll try to tell you one simple example because हमें एक टर्म डिस्कस किया था, अगर 1 के थोड़ा कम के वैल्यू को इन्फिनिटी तक रेज किया तो वैल्यू 0 हो जाएगा, है ना, हमें डिस्कस किया ए पॉइंट. सो आई हैव टू टीच यू वन पॉइंट हियर, थोड़ा मोटिवेशन भी देना हूँ एक्चुअली. ओके, क्योंकि वी हैव स्टार्टेड 1.5 hours बैक एक्चुअली, सो 90 minutes वी आर कंटिन्यूसली सॉल्विंग क्वेश्चंस. आई वांट टू टेल यू, look, let us suppose I am there, okay, Vinay. Let us suppose my efficiency is only 1, okay, for example, let us suppose my talent, my hard work, everything is only 1. So in a year I have 365 days, okay, so in a year I have 365 days. So let us suppose on January 1st I made work only which is of my capability. On second day also I worked only with my capability. On third day also I worked only till my capability, like this. Total 1, which is 1 power 365 is 1. Means in the beginning of the year, if I do not put any extra efforts, if I'm just whatever the knowledge I have, I'm just repeating it, then at the end of the year also my knowledge will be same. Okay, but let us suppose January 1st I have tried to improve my knowledge slightly, okay, 0.1%, okay, 1.01. January 2nd also I have slightly pushed my capabilities, I tried to learn some new things, slight effort, okay, I have just kept some slight effort and I have improved. So this goes on. So this is 1.01 whole power 365, and there is third person like me whose capability is 1 but relaxing, okay, so instead of 1.01 he worked only 0.99, okay, second day also he worked only 0.99. This happened for 365 days. Now you have three values to compare: 1.01 power 365, 1 power 365 and 0.99 power 365. Okay, so this is a lazy person who is working less than his capabilities. Okay, he is the person who wants to आराम से चलो कोई बात नहीं, and this person 1.01 is trying to put some extra effort. So January 1st में इन तीनों का वैल्यू सेक है. Okay, so next year by January 1st इस person का वैल्यू is 1. Okay, so whatever he is, same person. Okay, so but if you calculate this value 1.01 power 365 37.78. Okay, देखो कितना बड़ा चेंज आया था, 37.78. his value got increased from 1 to 37.78. ये देखो 0.99 power 365 कितना है, 0.025. बस. Now you decide, every day you have to keep some small extra effort or you have to relax. Understood? The subscription वापस करने पर टैक्स कट जाता है, please reply sir. I cannot answer this because I don't know. You can better contact some counseling team. Okay, so ये क्या हुआ होता है. Okay, so daily try to put one extra effort. Yes, extra effort please try to keep. Okay, so even in 5 days you can easily get some good marks or things like that. Okay, so even if these 5 days if you keep extra marks, look, let us suppose if you are getting only 2 marks, okay, only 2-3 marks for example, then this 2-3 marks for this 5 days extrally gives you 2.01 power 5. It gives you 32.80. So very big value actually. Okay, so please keep these points in mind. I wish someone told me this a year ago. No issues, you can keep on trying. 10 into 10 days 100 marks आएगा, और एग्जाम में रफ वर्क करने के लिए एक्स्ट्रा पेंसिल ले लो, 110 marks आएगा, एक्स्ट्रा मार्क्स एक्स्ट्रा डार्कनेस, गट्टा चल गया, गेट्स. या फाइन. ओके, सो we'll enjoy this. Okay, that's why I told you ये सेशन थोड़ा रिलैक्सिंग भी होता है लेकिन बहुत नॉलेजेबल भी होता है. ठीक है, many of you, I mean all of you might have learned at least one new point in this session. At the same time at night 12:30 you are relaxing and learning. Okay, so thanks to me. Well done. Okay, fine. So let's go to the next question. Poisson random variable. Let x be a Poisson random variable with parameter lambda is equal to 1. Then the probability of 2 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 4 is dash. Okay, so see here. Yeah, thank you all. Okay, so come on, let's solve this Poisson distribution. So first of all, tell me one thing. When you use Poisson distribution, this has to be understood clearly. Okay, so when you use Poisson distribution, type in the chat box when you use Poisson distribution, because in exam sometimes they do not mention the distribution. Okay, at that time you should know which distribution you have to use. Okay, discrete random variables, of course. In discrete you have two things. Okay, binomial and also Poisson. N is more, very large samples. Okay, look, generally I'll tell you one thing. If number of successes is depending on time, for example, okay, then you have to go for Poisson distribution. Okay, for example, I'll tell you what happens. Okay, let us suppose there are 3 targets and 3 bullets. May pass 3 bullets. Let us suppose. If I tie these targets in 10 minutes, or if I tie these targets in 30 minutes, the probability of these 3 bullets hitting these 3 targets will not change. Yes or no? Means my experiment is not time dependent. Yes or no? Correct? If I hit immediately or if I keep some gap and hit, the probability doesn't change. है ना? The probability of hitting the targets remains same. But let us suppose अगर मैंने एक होटल में रिसेप्शनिस्ट था. Okay, so let us suppose 9 to 9:15 on an average I am getting 4 calls every day, for example. Okay, मेरे को 4 calls आते हैं लैंडलाइन पे. Now अगर मैंने टाइम इंक्रीज किया तो number of calls will increase. Yes or no? The probability of getting more number of calls will increase, है ना? So yeah, number of successes is depending on time. Here number of successes is not depending on time. Clear? So whenever successes depend on time or happening of event depends on time, you have to go for Poisson distribution. Whenever things gets impacted by time, you can go for binomial distribution. Clear? So this, please keep these points in mind. Okay, fine, clear? So I'm erasing this then. Okay, fine. So now anyhow, so if you see Poisson distribution for number of successes is equal to R is e power minus lambda into lambda power R by R factorial. कल मैकेनिकल में भी एक क्वेश्चन आया था पॉइसन डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन में, पता है? एक पॉइसन डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन था, मीन एंड वेरिएंस. मीन एंड वेरिएंस क्या होते हैं? पॉइसन डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन में मीन एंड वेरिएंस दोनों सेम है. ओके, next time when I get some chance I'll try to derive it. Normally you have to go for the exponential series, okay, to show this result, but right now I'm just giving you the what do you say, the result actually. Okay, so in Poisson distribution mean and variance both will be same. Clear? Normally if you can, yes, 3 comma 3 wala. Okay, simple question. Okay, so mean and variance is actually same. Now if you see lambda का value दिया था, so this is the parameter, lambda is equal to 1. Okay, now they are asking you probability of 2 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 4. इसका मतलब क्या है? Probability of 2 successes plus probability of 3 successes plus probability of 4 successes actually. Okay, so probability of 4 successes. So this is equal to e power minus lambda into lambda square by 2 factorial plus e power minus lambda into lambda cube by 3 factorial plus e power minus lambda into lambda power 4 by 4 factorial. And you know lambda ka value 1. So if you put 1, this is 1, this is 1, and this is also 1. Okay, so e power minus lambda is e power minus 1. So if you take 1 by e common, 1 by 2 factorial is 1 by 2, 1 by 3 factorial is 1 by 6, plus 1 by 4 factorial is 24 actually. Okay, so this is 24. So if you take LCM, 1 by e times of 12 plus 4 plus 1 by 24 actually here. Okay, so 12 plus 4 16 plus 1 7, so 17 by 24 times of e exponent is the correct answer. So 17 by 24 e, which is in option B, is the correct answer here. Clear? Okay, so is this clear to all of you? Type in the chat box. So Poisson distribution is basically, this is the attribute which is mean. Okay, average number of occurrences in a time. Okay, so please repeat when we use Poisson, if number of successes are depending on time. Okay, in that case you use Poisson distribution. Means when number of happening of events is depending on time, then we use Poisson distribution. Okay, Ashwin, I hope it's clear to all of you. So shall we go to next question? Okay, so next question, देखो, for real numbers alpha 1 and alpha 2, if the formula integral minus 1 to 1 f of x dx is equal to, this is exact for all polynomials of degree less than or equal to 1, then 2 alpha 1 plus alpha 2 equals dash. This is what they are asking you. So type in the chat box what is the answer. Attempt this question and tell me the answer. I'll stay silent for some time. You please try this question for 1-2 minutes and tell me. Okay, I'll stand here itself. So please solve this question and tell me the answer. So please solve this question and tell me the answer. So please tell me the answer. What could be the answer here? So how much time should we give to maths and aptitude in exam? It depends actually. If your technical is very, theoretical question type and all, you'll get some more time. But normally, on an average for question 3 minutes, so 10 questions, 30 minutes, 30 to 35 minutes or 30 to 40 minutes you can give to mathematics. Okay. Look, in GATE exam, on an average, every question takes 3 minutes. Okay. So on an average, I'm talking about, okay, so 2.7 minutes, something like that. So 10 questions, so 10 into 2.7, some 30 minutes to 35 minutes you can spend on mathematics. Okay. No issue. So now, if you see this, so will you be there morning FM class? Yes, obviously, why not? I'll come back. Okay. No issue. So right now, see this. So alpha 1 and alpha 2 are real numbers. Okay. So alpha 1 and alpha 2 are real numbers. Look, I don't worry about sleeping at 3 a.m. and waking up at 8 a.m. Means coming to live at 8 a.m. if because of my teaching, if you get good marks. Okay. Because if I continuously teach, I'll teach only for 5 days maximum. Okay. 7, 8, 9, 10. After that, I cannot teach because XC exam gets completed. Even if I keep live, no one will attend. Okay. They'll sleep happily in their home. But because of this 5 days effort, if you can get settled in IITs, tomorrow if you call me from, sir, आपके वजह से मैंने मैथ्स बहुत अच्छे से किया था एंड मैंने आईआईटी मद्रास में एक एडमिशन लाया था, ओके, देन आई विल डेफिनेटली फील वेरी हैप्पी फॉर यू. ओके, it's only for 4-5 days I will struggle or complete team will struggle hopefully. If I am sleeping at 3 a.m. no issue, but if you get very good marks then people are happy here. Okay. So let's continue. Alpha 1 and alpha 2 are real numbers. So ये दिया कि integral -1 to 1 f of x dx is equal to alpha 1 times of f of minus half plus alpha 2 into f of 1 by 2 है ना. So this is what you have. They have given you this result. Taking f of x is equal to 1 and x. Look, no need of substitutions. Let us take directly. Given this is valid for all polynomials of degree less than or equal to 1. So what is the maximum degree polynomial? Let f of x is equal to a naught x plus a1. Okay. So this is the maximum degree polynomial. If a naught is 0, then this is some constant. Okay. It can be 1, 2, 3, any function. So polynomials of degree less than or equal to 1. Okay. So that means the polynomial can be of maximum 1 degree or it can be constant. Okay. So therefore this implies integral -1 to 1 a naught x plus a1 dx is equal to alpha 1 times of f of minus half. So a naught into minus half plus a1 plus alpha 2 times of a naught into 1 by 2 plus a1. Okay. So this is what you have here. Okay. So when you have this, try to understand carefully. Tell me one thing. First of all, this is one very important point actually. Can you tell me if I calculate this value, can you tell me what is the answer I will get? If I calculate that value, what is that? Because I can split this integration into two parts actually. Okay. So -1 to 1 a naught x plus -1 to 1 a1 dx. Okay. So therefore, if you have split this integration into two parts, can you tell me what is the answer of this part? 0 है ना, क्योंकि this function is an odd function. Okay. So if you have this result, आपको पता है minus b to b f of x dx, इसका वैल्यू 0 होता है अगर if this function is odd function. ऑड फंक्शन का मतलब क्या है? अगर आपने x के प्लेस में -x सब्स्टिट्यूट किया तो f of x minus f of x हो जाएगा. करेक्ट. सो दैट्स इट. इट्स एन ऑड फंक्शन. सो दैट्स व्हाई दिस इज एक्चुअली 0. सो दैट मीन्स दिस इंटीग्रेशन वैल्यू इज नथिंग बट a1 टाइम्स ऑफ 2 बस इज इक्वल टू alpha 1 a naught times of, or you can write alpha 1 a naught coefficient into minus alpha 1 by 2 plus alpha 2 by 2 plus a1 times of alpha 1 plus alpha 2. Correct. Now if you compare on both sides, definitely left hand side a naught का term नहीं है. So that's why this implies alpha 2 minus alpha 1 is equal to 0. Correct. Alpha 2 minus alpha 1 by 2 is equal to 0 because इस constant 0 होना चाहिए क्योंकि left hand side में a naught का term नहीं है. Clear. And on the right hand side alpha 1 plus alpha 2 is equal to 2. Okay, because this is 2. So now this implies alpha 1 is equal to alpha 2. So अगर आप यहाँ सब्स्टिट्यूट किया तो 2 alpha 1 is equal to 2. So alpha 1 का वैल्यू होता है 1. Okay, so if alpha 1 is equal to 1, alpha 2 is also 1. Clear? So if दोनों equations are 1, 2 into 1 plus 1, आंसर 3 होते हैं बस. Okay, 5 is actually wrong answer. Clear? अभिलाष, आपने एक गलती क्या किया कि यहाँ 2 सब्स्टिट्यूट किया. Yes or no? Tell me. You got wrong answer because you made some simple small mistake that here you have substituted 2. That's the only mistake you have done. Correct? Yes, I know, because you have forgotten this one of these equations actually. Okay, because उस टाइम पे मैंने solution लिखा था उस क्वेश्चन को. Many students have done the same mistake. Many of them have fighted with me in live. Okay, in YouTube live they have fought with me. So how can you give 3 as answer? हमें एग्जाम में 5 लिखा था, so 5 is the correct answer. But I told बच्चों 3 correct answer है. Wait for the official key, and once the official key came out, they are very happy. Okay. Every year this is a common thing, you know. YouTube में जब आप solution solve, I mean question solve करते हैं, की देते हैं ना, like कल हमें दिया था fluid mechanics और maths questions सभी subjects के लिए. Normally in XC, when you teach engineering mathematics, there will be a lot of fights that happen in YouTube. Okay, when I am teaching solution, when I give some key, people fight with me. How can you give that as answer? That is wrong answer. You have given a wrong answer. You are the worst faculty I have ever seen. All these things. When final answer key come, then people stay calm. Okay, so let's wait for the final answer keys. Okay, agar I am telling you one thing, if you have confidence on your subject, you can directly and very daringly go to the dais. Okay, I love Abdul Kalam sir so much. He told one very famous statement. Okay, courage comes from knowledge. That's what I strongly believe. So अगर आपकी knowledge levels बहुत ज़्यादा है तो you can be more courageous. Okay, exam में भी and जिंदगी में भी. Clear? So shall we go for the next question? Okay, so let's go for the next question. Question क्या है? अच्छा, yeah. I am seeing in this location and finding no question. Okay, solution. A is equal to 5 minus 3, 6 minus 4. Then trace of the matrix A power 1000. 1000 दिया था ना? Okay, 1000. Light का reflection आ रहा है board में. So trace of 1000. गजब बेइज्जती हो गया. What is the meaning of this? Please translate ना. I know only little Hindi. Yeah, don't type these many long comments in Hindi. Okay, so fine. Okay, so let's continue. So trace of A power 1000. So इस क्वेश्चन का क्या करना है? A power 1000 कैलकुलेट करना है ना? Yes or no? So type in the chat box. What we should do this question? You have to calculate A power 1000. Yes or no? Yes or no? Acha, okay. No, correct. We need not calculate A power 1000 because if you try to calculate A power 1000 value, then definitely this question not 3 years, even 3 years won't be sufficient for you. Okay, if you calculate manually. Now let us see how to write this. This trace, let us say if this matrix is A, B, C, D, for example, A power 1000. After calculating A power 1000, you got some values. Then if you see, trace of this matrix is nothing but trace of A power 1000 is equal to A plus D. Okay, so trace is nothing but sum of this principal diagonal elements. So in eigenvalues you have many important properties. Of course, 2 simple properties are sum of eigenvalues is equal to sum of the principal diagonal elements, and product of the eigenvalues is actually equal to this determinant of the matrix. Okay, कहीं भी use किया eigenvalues आपने in core subjects? Have you ever used these eigenvalues in core subjects? Yes, सॉम करेक्ट. वो स्ट्रेस टेंसर का अगर आपने आइगन वैल्यूज कैलकुलेट किया तो वो आइगन वैल्यूज होता है कि प्रिंसिपल स्ट्रेसेस. ओके, या प्रिंसिपल स्ट्रेस बेसिकली यू हैव दिस स्ट्रेस टेंसर नो सिग्मा xx. कल एक क्वेश्चन भी आया था मोर सर्किल का. or sometimes this sigma yx can be denoted with tau xy. Okay, so if you calculate eigenvalues of this matrix, they are nothing but your sigma 1 and sigma 2 principal stresses. Okay, that's why this sum sigma 1 plus sigma 2 is equal to sum of normal stresses, which is sum of eigenvalues is sum of this principal diagonal elements. Clear? जब मैं नेवियर स्टोक्स इक्वेशन पढ़ाता हूँ फ्लूइड मैकेनिक्स में, every time I teach this. Okay, fine, no issue. So see here, now this is equal to lambda 1 power 1000 plus lambda 2 power 1000. And what about lambda 1 and lambda 2? Lambda 1, lambda 2 are eigenvalues of A. Okay, are eigenvalues of A. If lambda 1 and lambda 2 are eigenvalues of A, then eigenvalues of A power 1000 will be lambda 1 power 1000 and lambda 2 power 1000. Okay, so what are the eigenvalues of this? Lambda 1 plus lambda 2 is equal to 5 minus 4, 1. Lambda 1 into lambda 2 is equal to minus 20 plus 18, which is minus 2. So lambda 1 is 2 and lambda 2 is minus 1. Okay, so this is what you have actually here. So these are the eigenvalues. So this trace is equal to 2 power 1000 plus minus 1 whole power 1000, which is 1. So 1 plus 2 power 1000 is the trace of this particular matrix. Okay, A power 1000. So 2 power 1000 plus 1 is the correct answer. Okay, so minus 1 comma 2 is the correct answer. Yes, minus 1 comma 2 is the correct answer. So that's why if these are the eigenvalues, then if you look normally, if lambda 1, look, shall I tell you some important properties of eigenvalues? Shall I write quickly? Will you take them? Because if some question comes from those eigenvalues, it will be helpful for you. Okay, और पता है सबको? Do? Okay, so I'll give you some quick, some 6 to 7 or 7 to 8 steps, some 7 to 8 some good points about eigenvalues. So please keep that points with you. Okay, because बहुत सारे बार ये से 6-7 पॉइंट से क्वेश्चन आते हैं, so that will be helpful to you. If lambda 1, lambda 2 and so on, lambda n are eigenvalues of A n by n, because n by n matrix will have n eigenvalues, then first point, lambda 1 plus lambda 2 and so on lambda n is equal to trace of A, which means sum of principal diagonal elements, lambda 1 into lambda 2 into lambda 3 and so on lambda n. This is equal to determinant of A. Then third one, lambda 1 power m, lambda 2 power m, lambda 3 power m and so on lambda n power m are eigenvalues of A power m. These are eigenvalues of A power m actually. So if you put m is equal to minus 1, 1 by lambda 1, 1 by lambda 2 and so on 1 by lambda n are eigenvalues of A inverse, eigenvalues of J inverse. Okay, so these are the eigenvalues of A inverse. Then if you see basically det A by lambda 1, det A by lambda 2, det A by lambda 3 and so on det A by lambda n are eigenvalues of adjoint A. So these are eigenvalues of adjoint A. Okay, and normally if you see in some constants, for example k1 or k times of lambda 1 plus k1 lambda 1 plus k2, k1 lambda 2 plus k2, k3 lambda 3 plus k2, sorry k1 lambda 3. Okay, so this is k1 lambda 3 plus k2 and so on k1 lambda n plus k2. All these are eigenvalues of k1 times A plus k2 times I. Okay, so like this you can write any conversion. This is of adjoint A. Okay, so like this you can write many properties, and also there are some other properties of eigenvalues for symmetric matrix, orthogonal matrix, real symmetric matrix, all these things. So I'll just tell you. Basically if the matrix is real symmetric matrix, okay, means अगर एक symmetric matrix में सारी एंट्रीज रियल नंबर्स हुआ तो उस मैट्रिक्स का सारे आइगन वैल्यूज रियल नंबर्स हो जाएगा. ओके, सो द आइगन वैल्यूज ऑफ रियल सिमेट्रिक मैट्रिक्स आर ऑलवेज रियल नंबर्स. ओके, इसलिए आपने जब इस ओके 1 मिनट स्क्रीनशॉट ले लो. ओके, लिया स्क्रीनशॉट. ओके, एंड वन मोर थिंग आई फॉरगॉट, आइगन वैल्यूज ऑफ A and A transpose will be same. Okay, eigenvalues of A and A transpose are same. Look, whenever you calculate principal stresses, you will never get complex numbers. Yes or no? Correct? For any stress tensor, if you calculate principal stresses, will you get complex numbers anytime, or will you get real numbers? Type in the chat box. First test answer, actually, if you calculate eigenvalues, means basically if you calculate principal stresses, sigma 1, sigma 2, you will always get real numbers, है ना? Because there is a property in mathematics, in matrices, that eigenvalues of real symmetric matrices are always real. Okay, ये सारे real numbers होते हैं. That's why when you are calculating principal stresses, you will never get complex numbers. You will always get real numbers because matrix is actually a real symmetric matrix. Okay, skew symmetric लिए imaginary. Look, eigenvalues of skew symmetric matrix will be either 0 or purely imaginary. Okay, purely imaginary का मतलब क्या है? अगर आपने कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर a प्लस ib से डिनोट किया तो उस आइगन वैल्यू में ये वैल्यू 0 हो जाएगा. ओके, सो आइगन वैल्यूज ऑफ स्क्यू सिमेट्रिक मैट्रिक्स विल बी ऑलवेज आइदर 0 और प्योरली इमेजिनरी. ओके, सो अगर आपने स्क्यू सिमेट्रिक मैट्रिक्स के आइगन वैल्यूज कैलकुलेट किया तो उस कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर्स में रियल पार्ट नहीं है. ठीक है, आइगन वेक्टर चेंज व्हेन लैम्डा पावर m? नो, बेसिकली आइगन वेक्टर्स ऑफ a and a power m will be same actually. Okay, eigenvectors of a and a power m will be same, and eigenvectors of a and a transpose will not be same again. Okay, so there are geometrical explanations of all these things. Whenever I take some comprehensive course or some YouTube sessions after GATE examination, I'll definitely try to take some sessions on YouTube so that we can all discuss. Okay, because eigenvectors is actually a geometrical concept, very beautiful concept actually. Look, you will know now x bar is a vector. Whenever x is a vector, ax is equal to lambda x. So lambda x, so that means this vector and this vector are same, which means this matrix will just change the length of this vector because lambda is some scalar. Okay, so direction do not change. Okay, so that's why this is actually some scaling matrix. Okay, so there are certain geometrical understandings for all these eigenvectors, dimensions, spaces, all these things, but that will deal in some when we deal some lengthy course. Okay, some when we spend some time. So please take some session for BRC after 11th. Yeah, definitely. Okay, I have cleared BRC. I previously, before coming to BW, I was working with Bark actually. So I know the technique. So I'll definitely help you out in clearing BRC exam. Okay, fine. So let's continue. Okay, great. So let's continue with the next question. There is one question, very fantastic. So integral 0 to pi by alpha. 0 to pi by alpha, integral 0 to x to pi by alpha sin y by y dy dx is equal to, what is the value? 1 by 2. For alpha greater than or equal to 1, of course, then the value of alpha is dash. Alpha is dash. This is the question. Okay, so please try to solve this. Where did you learn all this? I won't tell you, because if I tell you, you will also teach mathematics and I'll lose my job from tomorrow. Okay, I won't tell you. How many of you want to become teachers? First tell me, then I'll decide whether to tell you or not. Look, I'll tell you. Basically, matrices, there is one very good person called नाम सुना है कभी भी? How many of you have heard this name? Gilbert Strang. How many of you have heard this? Never in your life, correct? Yeah, very good. Ramanujan Bose. He is a very fantastic professor who teaches at MIT. MIT is not Madras Institute of Technology, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, world's #1 university. Okay, in technical knowledge, in technology and engineering, and in other branches as well. Okay, MIT Open Courseware. Not in Open Courseware, I had access to some of his lectures, because when I was in IIT Madras, we had some access to some of his courses, and he has a linear algebra book also, which if you are little weak in basics, you should not touch that book directly. Honestly telling you, because that book will be at high level actually, and many things will be explained at slight complexity level, to be honestly speaking. So I learned from him. Okay, Gilbert Strang, MIT Open Courseware is one example, And apart from open courseware, then there is some different this, what do you say, some like how you have YouTube sessions and paid batches. Similarly, there is some open courseware and also some detailed semester course. So in that detailed semester course, I have picked up some nice lectures from him. Okay, so from there I know all these points, geometrical significance of all these things and all. So you learned from fluid mechanics from, I learned fluid mechanics from one fantastic faculty. Look, whatever I am today, I am because of two important people. I'll tell you, two professors. Look, जब मैंने बीटेक कंप्लीट किया था, मेरे को इमीडिएटली एमटेक का एडमिशन मिला था आईआईटी मद्रास में. सो इन आईआईटी मद्रास इन दामल, बेसिकली इफ यू सी thermodynamics lab and fluid mechanics lab, there are two professors. Okay, I'll tell you some short story because it's already 2 hours since we started. It's 1 o'clock, 12:56. So I'll tell you some small story. Okay, so there's one particular lab in IIT Madras which is called TDCE. Okay, thermodynamics and combustion engineering lab. Okay, so in this lab there is one professor, K. Srinivasan, because I cannot forget him in my life. So K. Srinivasan is the name. Normally he comes to class. Okay, so he comes to class, and whenever you show him any tough question of thermodynamics, okay, he teaches thermodynamics generally. His area of interest is compressible flows, basically jet engines and RAM engines. So if you see, he comes to class, whatever the toughest question of thermodynamics you give him, he starts with, many of you have seen me in fluid mechanics lectures, or I have taught you this applied thermodynamics revision through question session. Okay, you have taken, basically you have seen me, I never apply direct formulas. Okay, I start from the basics, correct? This starting from basics I learned from that faculty. Okay, whatever the toughest question of thermodynamics you take, he starts with, okay, this question is from thermodynamics, no, so we will do one thing, Q minus W is equal to delta U, na? Okay, this formula is correct, no? So he will start like this, and within next 4 or 5 steps he shows the answer. Okay, so that's what I personally believe. Never, you might have seen me in my these many YouTube sessions, I have never told any shortcuts, because GATE exam is designed in such a way that if you start from basics, you will end up with the answer in 3 questions, in 3 minutes. Okay, maximum 4 minutes, that's it. Okay, because try to understand here, if you have shortcut for every question and if only 10 seconds is required to solve every question, then your 65 questions will get solved in 650 seconds, which is less than 10 minutes, which is less than 11 minutes actually, hai na? So if you can finish your exam in 11 minutes, why 3 years? Okay, so so main idea is not applying this shortcuts, all these things. Okay, look, how many shortcuts you will remember, tell me. Okay, in one subject, let us suppose if I'm teaching you thermodynamics, for example, in thermodynamics, basic thermodynamics, you have some 10 chapters. Okay, so let us suppose if I teach 2 shortcuts in every chapter, you have 20 shortcuts in basic thermodynamics. So total you have 15 subjects, 300 shortcuts. Can you remember 300 shortcuts and apply them correctly in exam? Can anyone do this? I am openly challenging. Can anyone remember 300 shortcuts and can anyone write correctly in exam? Definitely not. Okay, and shortcuts are very, very dangerous. You know why? You never know the conditions when you should apply them. Okay, you look, actually your intuition should develop. Let us suppose if I'm applying Bernoulli's equation, if pipe is a horizontal, my intuition, my mind should tell me that Vinay, pipe is horizontal, so there is no use of potential head. Okay, so you can cancel Z. This is what, again, you should not write one formula for cancelling Z and then showing something. Okay, this never works, I'm telling you honestly. Okay, so this open courseware from MIT and this what do you say, his depth contents is that. Second person who has asked me that from where you have learned the fluid mechanics, I'll tell you, there is one professor called Shamit Bakshi sir in fluid mechanics lab, in IC Indians lab actually. Okay, so I'm from Damal actually. So if you see this Shamit Bakshi sir, actually he morning when I'm solving fluid mechanics, many of you are telling, sir, humko ye complex numbers ka methods, we don't know. But one thing you understood is solution is coming very simply, hai na? So normally from potential function, if you want to calculate stream function for Rankine half body, it takes a very lengthy calculation. But in morning sessions, when I'm writing from the complex numbers, within 2-3 steps, I wrote the stream function. This teaching potential flows in complex numbers is done only by 3 people in India, as far as I know, after watching all the NPTEL courses on fluid mechanics and all. One is Professor Suman Chakrabarti sir, one of very respectful faculty. Second is my professor who taught me fluid mechanics, advanced fluid mechanics at IIT Madras. And third, from learning that professor, I am doing it in GATE now. That's it. Okay, so other than this, I have never seen anyone teaching fluid mechanics in this potential flows in complex numbers. Even I believe that you might not have seen after these many lectures. Have you ever seen teaching potential flow in complex numbers? Have you ever seen this teaching potential flow in complex numbers? No, na? Definitely not. Correct? So these are the points. Okay. So one thing that I have learned from these people is to stay calm when you are more knowledgeable. That's it. Okay. Look, I'll tell you one thing. IIT KGP Suman Chakrabarti sir. Yes, of course. Kagpur. Suman Chakrabarti sir and SK Som sir. These two are very, closely associated people. But unfortunately, last year we lost SK Som sir. So, he passed away due to some health issues. But his lectures will be always in our minds, and in our because of his lectures we always keep going all the time. Okay. So yeah, definitely, yeah, in 2020. Okay, because slightly after COVID he has passed away. Acha, we entered 23 now, so couple of years back. Okay, so I'll tell you one thing, guys. Look, in class, look, normally every student has this habit, including me. Okay, when I am teaching fluid mechanics, I follow the style of Shamit Bakshi sir, to honestly speaking, because whenever I want to teach a particular subject, immediately those points come to in my mind and I try to replicate that, honestly speaking. Correct? So tomorrow if you learn maths in a very well way from me, you will try to replicate that when solving questions. So the faculties, look, honestly speaking, people speak that king of mathematics, king of this subject, king of that subject. No, nothing. They who are sitting in the IITs are the actual kings. That's why even after learning from these many gate kings, we are still not able to solve all the 65 questions of the gate paper. Now, did you understand who is the real king? People who are sitting at IITs generally and framing the questions are the really people who are enjoying the subject, and they are the actual masters of the subject. Okay, look, whatever I teach, definitely whatever I am teaching, you can find in some book or some video or somewhere. But in IITs, what happens is they do research and they try to produce some new things, some new books, some new concepts which are not there till that particular point in the history. Clear? So that's why this is my, this is the reason why I stay very calm in my classes, because in exam when you are writing your question, your mind should be very calm. Okay, your mind stays calm only when the teacher who taught you teaches it in a calm way. Okay, because obviously your thought process will be as per your teacher's teaching. Clear? That's the reason. So about tough luck, the complex numbers method in potential flows. Could you please make one small session regarding it? Yeah, definitely I'll try to make that. Okay. Fine. Okay. So how to overcome fear and pressure during exam? Look, I'll tell you. Pressure starts when you think of the result actually. Okay. What if I don't solve 40 questions? What if I get only 40 marks? What if I don't get selected to IIT? If you think these points in exam, you will get pressure. Okay. Let us suppose if you start your exam assuming I'll get 0 marks in this exam, will you get any tension, any pressure? Tell me. In exam you feel pressure because you expect some 80 marks, you will go and sit in the examination, then you find 3-4 questions which are difficult, then immediately your mind starts playing with you. Okay, this is what exactly happens. Okay, so when this exactly happens, you feel pressure, whatever, fear, all these things. But imagine if you don't have any target of marks, you can attempt the exam calmly. Clear? But like NPTEL lectures are, they're like reading from the script. Not always. Okay, sometimes it happen, but not always. Few times when theory is repeated, they actually display some slides, but concepts wise, if you go into depth, you can easily get the things. Your concepts are very strong and teaching also. Thank you. If you want to be part of history, study hard for GATE and enjoy your journey and become part of history. Okay. Okay, fine. So थोड़ा motivation दिया था आपको, लेकिन so always thank for the people who are responsible for putting you in some stage. Okay, that's what I personally believe. So I thank Bakshi sir and Srinivasan sir from IIT Madras. Okay, so let's continue the story. Okay, people who asked me for linear algebra, this is the source. Okay, I always want to share my knowledge. Okay, I don't want to hide it and tell me that I am the only person in this universe who know this. Okay, everything what we teach is definitely, you can find it somewhere. GATE atmospheric science and oceanography, NPTEL was my lifeline. Yeah, obviously. Okay, if you get very good score in atmospheric sciences, you go to IIT Delhi. Okay, there's a center for oceanography, so they'll definitely help you out. Okay, in reaching good heights in your life. So देखो ये क्वेश्चन क्या है, इंटीग्रल 0 to pi by alpha इंटीग्रल x to pi by alpha sin y by y dy by dx. First of all, tell me one thing, integration of this function is easy or difficult? When you have integral sin y by y, please tell me whether this integration is difficult or easy. Integration sin y by y. integration sin y by y. Difficult na, because you can directly cannot integrate sin y by y. You might have tried it. Many people might have observed this, that the integration becomes very lengthy. So we will do one thing, change of order of integration. Okay, so this is one very important concept in calculus, change of order of integration. So change of order of integration. Now I'll explain you this concept of change of order of integration using this example. So please be focused. Okay, so whatever the question comes in exam, by changing the order of integration, you can answer this. Look, the first thing that you should write in change of order of integration is limits. Okay, so this integral 0 to pi by 2 x to pi by alpha. This is also pi by alpha, na? Pi by alpha. Okay, so this is also pi by alpha. Clear? Pi by alpha, pi by alpha. So sin y by y dy dx. This should be written as integral sin y by y. Now when you are changing the order of integration, if this is the first variable of integration is y, here the first variable of integration should be x. Okay, because here the first variable of integration is y, so the first variable of integration should be x here, dy. Now you should actually change the limits also. Now tell me one thing, if this is a function of x, then these are nothing but y limits, yes or no? Correct? And obviously these are x limits, x equal to 0 and x is equal to pi by alpha, yes or no? Because here at this location, if you have some function of x, so function of x is nothing but limit of y, correct? So type in this chat box. Can you understand? Here if there is x here, means if there is involvement of x on any integral, they are actually functions of y, they are actually limits of y. Clear? So here these are limits of y and these are limits of x. So what are the curves they have given you? X is equal to 0, x is equal to pi by alpha, x is equal to 0, x is equal to pi by alpha, then y is equal to x and y is equal to pi by alpha. These are the four curves they have given you, correct? Y equal to x, y equal to pi by alpha, x equal to 0, x is equal to pi by alpha. Clear? Now try to plot these four curves. Okay, how to do change of order of integration is what I am teaching you. Look carefully. Whenever you see x here, then these are functions of y, or let us suppose if you see y here, then those are functions of x actually. Okay, so this, if you plot these four curves, let us see. If you plot these four curves, then this is x is equal to 0, this is y is equal to 0. Okay, now x is equal to pi by alpha, so x is equal to pi by alpha will be some constant like this. So x is equal to pi by alpha, x is equal to pi by alpha, x is equal to 0, x is equal to pi by alpha, y is equal to x. Okay, so y is equal to x, the line y is equal to x comes something like this, the line y is equal to x is something like this, and y is equal to pi by alpha. So y is equal to pi by alpha will pass through this point, yes or no? So y is equal to pi by alpha will pass through this point, because this is intersection of y is equal to x and y is equal to pi by alpha. Okay, so y is equal to pi by alpha. Now I'll ask you one very important question, try to answer this carefully. You have two regions which are closed. Now out of these two regions, 1 and 2, which is the actual region which is bounded by these four curves? Tell me, out of these two regions, which region is the region that is actually bounded by these four curves? Tell me. 1 or 2? You have doubt, na? So look, for this to be a closed region, this line should be there, y is equal to 0, but in these equations there is no y is equal to 0. Okay, so we have just drawn this axis to make sure you for the reference, that's it. Okay, actually this y is equal to 0 is not there in this constraints. Okay, so that's why if you delete this, this is the closed area. Understood? So this area is actually the closed area. Now if you want to change the order of integration, integral x to pi by alpha sin y by y dy dx 0 to pi by alpha, if you want to change the order of integration, sin y by y dx into dy. Now first of all, you want to write x limits, okay, because your first variable of integration is x. So if first variable of integration is x, you should write x limits. Now this x limits should be in functions of y actually, correct? Look, observe carefully, I am repeating. If your first integrating variable is x, then the limits on this integration should be x limits, and these x limits should be in terms of y, okay? So if you want dx, take a horizontal strip, take a horizontal strip here, okay? So take a horizontal strip. Now this strip can move from this location to this location in this region. So this axis is given by x is equal to 0, and this is given by x is equal to y. So the x actually increases in this direction. So left limit of x is x is equal to 0, and this is x is equal to y, okay? So whenever first integrating variable is x, these limits should be x limits, but they should be in terms of y, okay? So that's why we have written those limits. Did you all understand clearly how I have written the limits? Yes or no? So please type in the chat box. Did you all understand this clearly? Okay. Now what about y limits? Y is changing from 0 to a maximum of pi by alpha. So y is changing from 0 to pi by alpha. So this is actually the integration, okay? So in change of order of integration, main thing is writing these limits, okay? Many times students, they just keep these same limits and they end up with wrong answers, okay? So main thing is actually writing the limits correctly is the main technique, and this writing the limits clearly comes from this graphical knowledge. Clear? Identifying the correct closed path, and if this is dx, then take a horizontal strip. If this is dy, then take a vertical strip. That's it. Clear? Okay, so is this clear to all of you? Got it? Now if you integrate this, this is simple integration. Integral y is equal to 0 to y is equal to pi by alpha. Integration of sin y by y with respect to dx, okay? So whenever you are integrating with respect to x, this is a constant. So sin y by y into integration of dx is x within the limits 0 to y. So this term dy. So this is equal to integral y is equal to 0 to y is equal to pi by alpha sin y by y into this simplification is y minus 0, which is y dy. So y gets cancelled. Integral 0 to pi by alpha sin y dy. So integration of sin is minus cos y within the limits 0 to pi by alpha. Clear? So this is what you have. Integration of sin y is minus cos y. So minus of cos pi by alpha minus cos 0 is 1. Okay. So this is 1 minus cos pi by alpha. So this is the value. Now they have given something. This limit is equal to 1 by 2. Okay. So this is equal to 1 by 2. So this means cos pi by alpha is equal to 1 by 2. This means alpha value is 3 because cos 60 is 1 by 2. So pi by 3 is 1 by 2. So alpha value is 3. Okay. What if only integral sin y by y is given? Then you have to go for some substitution. Okay. Maybe some numerical method or something. Basically some Simpson's one-third rule or trapezoidal rule like this. Okay. Sin y by y function will be like this. Sin y by y has one. Look, this function I'll talk about sin y by y because I have to speak 2 more points about that function. Bhavik, just give me 2 minutes. Okay. But did you all understand this? Changing of order of integration is very, very important. Clear? Fine. So please type in the chat box. Is this clear to all of you? Okay. Are you all learning new concepts here? So basically this is change of order of integration. Okay. So in change of order of integration, the most important part is writing these limits. Okay. So writing these limits comes from this graph. How to know the strip? If this is dx horizontal, if this is dy vertical. That's it. Okay. Ashwani? Fine. So let's continue for the next question. 3 failed die are rolled simultaneously. Probability of getting a sum of 5. Very easy question. Please do it. We have options also. Kind people, they have given options. So options be the So please solve this question. No, you cannot apply isolate. Okay. I'm telling you, sin y by y, you have to go for this numerical techniques. Okay, whenever you cannot solve a question analytically, numerical methods can solve this. That's the power of numerical methods. And all the softwares, even this gate calculator, works on numerical methods. Okay. Clear? Laplace transformations. Laplace transformations is there, but only to normally questions from Laplace transforms will be asked as integrals. Okay, so I'll give you some hint. Whenever we solve some abhyas on XC maths, okay, on 8th and 9th, I'll give you some questions on Laplace transform also. Okay, anyone? No issues. Any ECE people on live to learn maths today? Any of you who are on live are from ECE or TEEE? No one? Okay, because generally XC is not written by those two, because XC is not an option, second option for them. They, yeah, mechanical, na? Okay, fine. Fine, no issues. So solve this question. What is the answer? I am also for mechanical. Yeah, it's okay. Solve this question. So solve this question. 3 fair dice are rolled simultaneously. What is the probability that sum should be 5? Very easy question actually. So please solve this. Some aptitude kind of question actually. So, but since it came in 2017 XC. So please solve this. D. What is D? 1 by 36. Is it? I don't know. I have to check. Okay. But definitely I know one thing. This is not the answer. And this is also not the answer. Okay. And definitely I think this should also be not the answer. Yeah, D should be correct most probably, I think. Okay. Permutations and combinations. मेरे को उतना नहीं पता है यार. So let us go for simple calculations. When sum has to be 5, it can be the combination of 1 plus 1 plus 3, 1 plus 3 plus 1, or it can also be something like 3 plus 1 plus 1, or it can be 1 plus 2 plus 2, 2 plus 1 plus 2, 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1. Only these are the possibilities of getting a 5. Okay, sum to be 5. So total possibilities are how many? 108. All the 3 dice can fall in any of the 6 ways, and these are actually 6. So 1 by 36. That's it. Okay. No permutations, no combinations, nothing. Simple counting by 5. Okay. So when you throw 3 dice, the sum should be 5. These are the only possibilities of getting a 5. Right? Yes or no? Correct? D is the correct answer. Okay, simple question. Very simple question. Just thoda relaxation. Okay. So again, let's go for this question. Consider the ordinary differential equation y double dash plus alpha y dash plus beta y is equal to 0. If y of x is equal to x into e power x is a solution of above equation, then beta minus alpha is dash. Simple. Do calculate first derivative, second derivative, substitute, you will get the answer directly. Okay. So please do this. Y double dash plus alpha y dash plus beta y is equal to 0. Hai na? So y they have given you as x into e power x. Look, this is like same model we have solved in partial differential equation. That's why solving of PYQs is very, very important. Okay. Look, let us suppose if you solve this PYQ in 2017 and if you attempt that question which came in 2021, then definitely you have the knowledge to solve that question. Hai na? So that's why I'm telling you PYQs plays a very important role in getting good marks. Okay. So see here, y dash first function into derivative of second plus second into derivative of first. So e power x into x plus 1, and y double dash is first function into derivative of second plus second function into derivative of first. So x plus 2. Okay, this is what. So now if you substitute these things here, e power x into x plus 2 plus alpha times of e power x into x plus 1 plus beta times of x into e power x is equal to 0 here. Okay, so let us see what could be the values here. So e power x is common anyhow, you can cancel this, e power x and e power x. So this gives you 1 plus alpha plus beta times of x plus 2 plus alpha is equal to 0. So from this alpha is minus 2. So if alpha is minus 2, what about beta? 1. Beta is 1. That's it. Okay. So alpha is minus 2 and beta is 1. So beta minus alpha. Beta minus alpha. That's it. Okay, so how many of you got 3 as the correct answer? वैसा कुछ लोग कहते हैं कि गेट में PYQ से कुछ नहीं आता. Who told you? कल मैकेनिकल का पेपर देखा है ना आपने? मेरे पास PYQ का बुक, PW का PYQ बुक तैयार नहीं हुआ अभी तक, थोड़ा सा टाइम लगेगा इसमें. लेकिन in yesterday's mechanical paper, if you solve correctly, 11 marks straight away came from PYQs. Models, okay, I mean models, exact models. वो function है ना, they have given you k का value कितना है, complex analytic function they have given you, e power x into cos 2y minus I sin 2y. That came so many times in mechanical itself. Okay, then this question, what do you say, this calculus graph, very simple question. Okay, that also some graphical questions previously. You might have seen this. Whoever have solved PYQs, they might have definitely known this. Some faculties name can't be taken. Okay, no issues of names. Let us not take any names personally. I am telling you one thing, guys. Every year, if you want, you can see practically also. Okay, every year generally half of the paper gets replicated from previous year models. Okay, if you can solve for 10 to 15 years, previous 10 to 15 years, you can definitely lose. Whoever have solved PYQs, they might have definitely found that the questions are of similar model. Yes or no? In XE possible PYQ? Yeah, why not? Definitely. Okay, in XE, even if you solve all PYQs correctly, you will easily end up with 40 to 50 marks. Very sure. Okay, so then you can go for other questions. Okay, then something is given. The Lorentz is of f of z is equal to 1 by z cube minus z4 with center at 0 and mod z greater than 1 actually. Okay, so tell me one thing, first of all, mod z greater than 1 means 1 by mod z less than 1. Yes or no? Correct, because whenever mod z is greater than 1, then 1 by something which is more than 1 will be less than 1. Okay, so this implies this is f of z is equal to 1 by z, lighting का reflection है, z cube minus z power 4. Okay, z cube minus z power 4. Okay, now tell me, I'll solve this question, but before I solve, you tell me the answer. Don't look at the answers of PYQs, huh? Just do this and tell me what could be the correct answer. So tell me what could be the correct answer here. Thank you sir for giving confidence in PYQ. Yeah, definitely. Look, yeah, आपके पास 2022 का पेपर है ना, you know we have solved many questions, so you know the type of questions. Out of 65, at least 30 to 35 questions will be definitely from PYQ models. If you want, you can check. Or at least if you solve PYQs, you can easily solve these questions. Who don't know that if you draw a Morse circle, that center will be on x-axis? Who don't know this? Tell me. If you solve PYQs of SOM, you will easily understand that center will be sigma xx plus sigma yy by 2 comma 0. If this is 0, then center will be on x-axis. Don't you know this? If you know this, you can solve an MSQ in yesterday's session. Okay, then we know many times that in a bar, if this is insulated, then without any heat generation, then this is same as like a slab going. Okay, so that means temperature can either increase or decrease if heat, depending on the heat flow directions. Tell me, PYQs are simple, you know, PYQs are definitely more tough than these type of questions now. So when you can solve those type of questions, you can easily understand the logic behind these questions. Okay, that's why. Look, coming to this question, 1 by z cube minus z power 4. Okay, so the correct answer is actually B. Okay, so correct answer is B. C is not the answer. Look, I'm telling you how it can happen. 1 by, if you take minus z power 4 out, or z power 4 out, first of all, let us say, if I take z power 4 out, I have 1 by z minus 1. Hai na? Yes or no? Correct. So this I can write as 1 by minus 1 by z power 4 into 1 minus 1 by z. So this can be written as minus 1 by z power 4 into, this can be written as 1 minus 1 by z whole power minus 1. Now tell me one thing. When mod z is greater than 1, 1 by mod z is less than 1. So, you know, 1 minus x whole power minus 1 is equal to 1 plus x square and so on when mod x is less than 1. Yes or no? Do you all know this? Type in the chat box. Do you all know this here? So type in the chat box. Do you all know this? How many of you don't know this? Tell me. How many of you don't know this? Binomial series. It's okay if you don't know. I'll teach you. No issue. So how many of you don't know this? सबको पता है? Okay. Got it? Geometric progression with first term equal to 1 and common ratio is equal to x. That's it. Sum of infinite terms is equal to a by 1 minus r. इसको लिखता है कि 1 minus x whole power minus 1. That's it. Okay. If someone don't know, then this is how it can be written. Okay. So this is a geometric progression with mod x less than 1. Sum of infinite terms is first term divided by 1 minus common ratio. This term is nothing but 1 minus x whole power minus 1. Bas. Okay. So minus 1 by z power 4 into 1 plus 1 by z plus 1 by z square plus and so on like this. Okay. So this is equal to, first of all, every term has minus sign. Okay. In these three options there is no minus sign. So these three are wrong answers. Okay. Clear? Done. Half an hour, 45 minutes more. Okay. पानी चाहिए थोड़ा सा, एक बॉटल लेके आना. ओके फाइन, अंडरस्टूड. यहाँ माइनस साइन है ना, इस तीन ऑप्शंस में माइनस है क्या? Is there any minus in A, C, D options? Is there any option? Is there any minus sign in these options? A, C and D? नहीं है. So how can you write C? You cannot write. Okay. So anyhow, let us see here. So if you expand this, you can easily understand minus times of z power minus 4 plus z power minus 5 plus z power minus 6 and so on. Okay. So if you take minus z power 4 common, then this is, basically if you write all these terms with the positive sign, 1 by z power 4 plus 1 by z power 5 plus 1 by z power 6 and so on. This can be written as minus sigma n is equal to 0 to infinity. Basically it's an infinite series, 1 by z power n plus 4. Okay. So when you put n is equal to 0 first term, when you put n equal to 1 second term, when you put n equal to 1 third term, and this is what it has. Okay. So B is the correct answer, correct expansion of this series. Okay. ये तो कॉमन सेंस का क्वेश्चन बन गया. Obviously GATE is graduate aptitude test. Okay. So if you think with common understanding of the questions, you can easily answer some questions. Okay. ये भैया questions वैसा होता है. Okay. Fine. Let's go for the next question. Next question क्या है? The value of x where the function f of x is equal to sin x plus cos x defined over the domain attains a minimum is dash. So solve this question and tell me. When, what is the location of x within that interval where sin x plus cos x is minimum? After math aptitude session be there. no aptitude session. Okay. You can sleep after this maths. I'm teaching maths only na, math session. Okay. After this math session you can actually sleep, and tomorrow please wake up before 8. Okay. Because in your home you can just wake up, rubbing your eyes, and you can watch the mobile or laptop, but I cannot do that. Okay. I have to wake up, get ready, come from my location to here, then I have to start the live. Okay. So please wake up at least 10 to 15 minutes before the session. Okay. मेरा गेट अच्छा नहीं गया, currently in third year. How to proceed? Just rectify your mistakes. Okay. That's what I personally believe. Don't try to commit the same mistakes in next year, because even now you might have thought that you prepared well, but because of some calculation mistakes or reading the questions or misunderstanding the questions, you might have got some less marks. No issue. So don't try to repeat these mistakes again. Okay. Look, let us solve this question. F of x is equal to sin x plus cos x, है ना? So sin x plus cos x. Now if you see carefully, f dash of x, if you want maximum or minimum of any function, differentiate and equate to 0. So cos x, minus sin x is equal to 0. Okay, because this is the differentiation, correct? So this is differentiation sin x plus cos x, which is differentiation of sin x is cos x plus derivative of cos x is minus sin x is equal to 0. So tan x is equal to 1. Tan x is equal to 1. Okay, so which means within that interval x is either pi by 4 or 5 pi by 4. These are the only two values where x can be tan x can be positive. Okay, it can be +1 in first quadrant and in the third quadrant. Okay, सर आपने किस ईयर में गेट दिया था? 2017 में स्टार्ट किया, अभी तक दिया. Okay, so anyhow, see this question. So these are the two locations where tan x is equal to 1. Okay, so pi by 4 and 5 pi by 4. Okay, so now if you see f double dash of x, f double dash of x is equal to, if you differentiate this function once again, so differentiation of cos x is minus sin x minus cos x. Okay, so minus times of sin x plus cos x. Now you know one thing, for f of x to be minimum, f double dash of x should be positive, है ना? So this should be positive, f double dash of x should be positive. So this implies if this term has to be positive, this sin x plus cos x has to be negative. Okay, so sin x plus cos x has to be negative. So out of these two values, at what value this sin x plus cos x is negative? Type in the chat box. At which value sin x plus cos x is negative here? Out of 5 by 4 and 5 by 4, at which value this value is negative? Sin x plus cos x is negative. 5 by 4, है ना? So this is the answer. 5 by 4 is the location where the function is minimum. Look, they are not asking you for the minimum value. Okay, they are asking the location where this function is minimum. Okay, Shrikant, be careful. Okay, they are not asking for the minimum value, they are asking you the location where the function is minimum. Okay, I couldn't do maths crash course on maths. How can I manage? I'm planning to skip FM and write in solid mechanics, so I'm getting time from 8 to 1 p.m. How can I manage? Any suggestion? Maths, any suggestions? Try to attend these sessions. I'll try to cover maximum as much as possible. Okay, yeah, 5 pi by 4. So 5 pi by 4 is how much? It's an NAT, na? Okay, it's an NAT. So 5 into 22 by 28. So 110 by 28. Calculate this. 110 by 28. 3.92. Okay, so 3.9293. Okay, fine. Okay, so that's the correct answers. Yes, 3.92, 3.93. These are the correct answers. Okay, yes, correct. Okay, look, I'll tell you a technique. Let us suppose if they ask you maximum values. Okay, means here they have asked, sir हिंदी में समझा सकते हो, मेरी इंग्लिश वीक है. ओके, मैं ट्राई करता हूं. सो देखिए, अगर इसकी जगह में इस फंक्शन का मैक्सिमम एंड मिनिमम वैल्यूज पूछा तो ये होता है मैक्सिमम ऑफ ए साइन एक्स प्लस बी कॉस एक्स प्लस सी इज सी प्लस रूट ऑफ ए स्क्वायर प्लस बी स्क्वायर. ओके, ये कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ मैक्सिमम मिनिमम से डेराइव करते हैं हम लोग. मिनिमम ऑफ ए साइन एक्स प्लस बी कॉस एक्स प्लस सी इज minus c or c minus root of a square plus b square. Okay, c plus or minus root of a square plus b square will be the maximum and minimum values of this function. Okay, so if no decimal places mentioned, what to do then? Generally they'll mention, I think in this question typing DTP has missed it, but normally they generally give you some number of decimal places. Okay, without giving that they don't ask you. बहुत अच्छा पढ़ाते हो, thank you. So vector line integration, हाँ किया ना, line integrals. So which subject combinations will be good in XC? It depends completely on you. Okay, selection of subjects in XC is completely dependent on you, and definitely it's you who have to decide what are the subjects you are strong in out of these three, and you have to decide. Okay, I cannot judge on that. Quota as you depend. I don't get this. Quota okay, I don't understand this. Sorry Vaibhav. Fine. Okay, तो लास्ट 2 ईयर्स से गेट दे रहा हूँ, 45 to 50 रेंज से बाहर नहीं आ हूँ. इस बार भी गेट खराब हो गया, क्या करूँ? छोड़ दूँ गेट, कुछ और ट्राई करने चाहिए, प्लीज गाइड. अब एक्सी देने का भी हिम्मत है. Rahul, first try to focus on this 5 to 6 days, whatever you have. Definitely this XC can keep you in some IIT, and whatever the placements that you get in IIT will compensate for your 3 to 4 years loss. Okay, fine. So this is the story of this question. So answer is 3.5 pi by 3, basically 3 point kitna hai 5.93. Okay, if you round off. Okay, so this is the correct answer. Okay, next. So solve this question. Divergence. So both simple question hai na. So what is the divergence? Divergence of vector. Divergence of vector. Dou by dou x of 2 power x plus dou by dou y of 2 power y plus dou by dou y dou z of 2 power z. So what is the integration? Integration of this is 2 power x into log 2 to the base e plus 2 power y into log 2 to the base e plus 2 power z into log 2 to the base e. So if you take log 2 common from all the terms, then 2 power x plus 2 power y plus 2 power z. So if you calculate this value at the location 1 comma 1 comma 1 at 1 comma 1 comma 1, so this is log 2 to the base e into 2 power 1, 2 plus 2 plus 2, which is 8 actually here. Okay, so this is 8 times of log 2 to the base e, 8 times of log 2 to the base e. No sir, I tell him combination of which subject. I didn't get this. So which subject combinations will be good in XC. That's what I'm telling you. The selection of subjects should lie within you. Okay. Gate XC का level gate ME के relative ऊपर होता है. Yeah, definitely you can find questions even in maths and all these things. You will get relatively tough questions. Okay. Tough means not very tough, but you have to know the concepts very clearly. Okay. These are the things which make me got 40. Okay. When I got all India 40, I have committed 8.66 marks calculation mistakes like this. 2 plus 2 plus 2, 8 I have written the same thing. Okay. So anyhow, let us see what is the value. 6 times of log 2. So first of all, guys, please be careful. Exam में calculator है ना, get calculator, इसमें दो log का options है, ln log. Okay. ln if you type, that applies base e. Okay. log if you apply, that applies base 10 actually. Okay. For example, पता है हमको log 10 to the base 10. So 10 log, it is 1. Okay, because log applies base to the 10. Okay, and e ln gives 1. Okay, because ln applies base e. Okay, so how to calculate this value? Log 2 to the base e. So 2 ln, this is log 2 times 6, 4.16 if you round off. Okay, so 4.158, which is 16. Clear? So 4.16 is what you have. Tell about Reddin calculator. What is a Reddin calculator? This one. Look, C means cancel. Okay, so for example, if you see, let us suppose I want to enter 245. By mistake, I entered 265. Okay, so if I want to remove only one digit, I can click this back button. Okay, so clicking this button will make only one element to go. Okay, then if I have some number, if I click C, completely it will change. Sometimes what you have to do, you have to change the magnitude when you get modulus or something like this. Then 0.325. If I want to change the sign of this, then if I click this, the sign changes. Okay, so that's the advantage of these 3 buttons. Okay, Radian, मैं पुराने वीडियो का रिप्लाई दे रहा था. अच्छा, what is m plus and m minus? Memory addition and memory subtraction actually. Okay, and radians. So basically, if you have pi by 6, you know sin pi by 6. For example, sin pi by 6 is 1 by 2. Okay, 0.5. So if you click pi by 6 and if you click sine, you know answer is 0.009, which is a wrong answer. You know this, correct? Because sin pi by 6 is 0.5. The reason why you got a wrong answer is this blue dot is in degrees. Okay, so pi by 6 is in radians. So before applying pi by 6, shift this button, this blue dot here to here. Okay, now if you calculate pi by 6 and if you apply sine, you will get correct answer. Okay, because pi by 6 is in radians. So before applying trigonometric ratios in radians, you have to shift that button from degrees to radians. Okay, this is the main thing you have to focus on. Clear? Okay, fine. मैकेनिकल में गेट्स को कितना होना चाहिए PSU मिलने के लिए? So normally some till 6, it depends every year. So last year 650 तक भी कॉल्स आया था. DRDO का शॉर्ट लिस्टिंग 636 जनरल कैटेगरी को 625 is there. So it depends every year. Okay, subjective. So let's go to the next question. So ये 4.16 है ना. The value of the following limit, ये बहुत अच्छा limit है. Tell me what is the answer. So should I go for one shot series or it is too late now for concept? Mechanical is already completed, so for fluid mechanics and all, one shot series we haven't done, I think. For maths also I have done only three chapters basically at that time, and that too not completely syllabus complete, because my intention was towards the mechanical at that time, not towards XE. So better attend these sessions. Okay, that's what I could suggest. Now till XE exam is over, focus on these sessions, because we are conducting continuous sessions so that we'll have continuous learning of new questions and all. So next we'll continue that. Okay, in BARC we can apply with XE scorecard. No solution. Okay, limit extends to infinity, x minus sin x by x plus sin x, plus limit extends to infinity ln x by x. Okay, limits can be split at plus sign. Now tell me one thing, what could be the answer of this limit? Any direct answer? What could be the answer of this limit? 1 actually. Okay, directly. Look, I'll tell you how come. Look, I'll give you one important result actually. Okay, so see carefully here. Limit extends to infinity a naught x power n plus a1 x power n minus 1. If you have a polynomial function, for example f of x divided by b naught x power m plus b1 x power m minus 1 plus b2 x power m minus 2 and so on, plus bm plus g of x is equal to, okay, where f of x comma g of x are finite valued functions. Okay, so these should be finite valued functions. Okay, so these are finite valued functions. What's the meaning of finite valued functions? Whatever you keep in place of x, the value of that function will be some finite value. Look, for example, whatever the value you keep in place of x, sin x is always some finite value between -1 to 1, correct? Let us suppose you have cos square x, sin x into cos x, these type of functions basically. Okay, so these are called finite valued functions. Then this answer is equal to 0 if n less than m, a naught by b naught if n is equal to m, infinity if n greater than m. Okay, so it is very simple to show actually. If you take x power n common and x power m common, then if n is equal to m, they get cancelled, and in every other term you have denominator. Okay, so that's how this term will be a naught by b naught. Okay, again this I'll dare you when I'm teaching some crash course or maybe advanced or comprehensive course of some some good number of lectures, but right now you can keep this in mind. Okay, now this is of the same category. This degree is 1, this degree is also 1, so here the coefficient is 1 and here the coefficient is 1, so 1 by 1 is the answer of this limit. Okay, fine. So I'll tell you one more thing actually. To this question I'll show you with simple calculation. Limit x tends to infinity, x into 1 plus sin x by x divided by x into 1 minus is on the top or bottom? It is on the top. Okay, so fine, anyway it is doesn't matter. So 1 minus 1 plus sin x by x plus limit x tends to infinity log x to the base e divided by x. Okay, now try to understand this limit first of all. If x and x gets cancelled, what will be this limit? Limit x tends to infinity sin x by x. What is the value of this limit? Anyone? So I used a calculator trick, taking x is equal to 999. For what? Acha, you used x is equal to 5 nines and then calculated. Fine. This answer is 0. Okay, this is 0. The reason is this limit is a finite value. Whatever you put in place of x, a finite value in this interval divided by infinity. So answer होता है कि 0. Okay, so numerator is finite value, denominator is infinity, so that's why this ratio is actually 0. Clear? And if there is 0 here, then this is 1. We know this. Okay. Do anyone know why? You know, many times you write in strength of materials in deflection of beams, always you write as x tends to 0, or basically you write for small values of x, sin x is equal to x. Have you written this? Yes or no? Tell me, have you written this actually? As x tends to 0 for small values of x, sin x is equal to x, almost equal to x. लिखा है ना? Yes. Tan x also, हाँ ये पता है ना? Tan x also, okay. Tan x also x, fine. Also in SHM, yes, of course. In simple harmonic motion also we write. Now, कितना लोगों को पता है कि ये कैसे होता है? कितने लोगों को पता है कि अगर x, if that is very small, how these two are equal? Because sin x by equal to 1 as x tends to 0. Sir, sin x by x tends to 1 will come from this equation. Okay, when sin x is equal to x, then sin x by x is almost equal to 1. Okay, that's why you add the limit, not because limit is there, this is equal. Okay, from Taylor series is one correct answer. I'll show you geometrically. Okay, there is one good plot. Actually, I used to do this in my research when I have started PhD in my IIT. So I would like to show this to you. Desmos. Normally, if you want to find solution of any equations, I used to use this plot. So first of all, I am plotting sin x. Okay, so sin x. Okay, I think just a minute. Sin x. Okay, so sin x is, this is in a red color, so the red color graph is sin x. X. Okay, so x, fine. This is in blue color. Okay, so here you can identify the colors. This red color is sin x, so red graph is sin x. Blue color is x, so blue color is x. Okay, so when x is very small, look, try to understand. I am expanding this. When you expand this, when x is very small, means when x is very close to 0, can you see two different curves or can you see only single curve? Can you see two different curves or can you see only single curve? Can you see two different curves or can you see only one single curve? Single, है ना? Why single? Because one curve got overlapped on the other, and when it happens, only when both the values are same. Okay, and if you want me to show for tan x also, look, I'll draw for tan x also. Just a minute. So this is tan x. Okay, so the blue colored ones are tan x actually. Okay, so you can see the tan x graph is like this. Basically this is the shape of tan x, but if you zoom in the region close to 0, you can see only one single curve. Okay, so all the three curves gets compressed, okay, to one single location. That's why when x is very small, we write all these three values are same. Okay, what is the symbol denote here? I have thought of finding it many times. Folding hands and watching seriously. What is this symbol mean actually? I don't know. That's why I'm asking. I've never seen an explanation like this. Yeah, of course. Thank you. Look, I used to do one thing in my, when I was doing my research, actually, I've started PhD but didn't finish it. I have discontinued it, unfortunately. So I'll tell you one thing. Look, many times you get the questions now. Like for example, some nonlinear equations will be there. X square minus, for example, if you see, let us suppose you have an equation x cube minus 2x is x cube minus 2x square plus x is equal to 0, for example. Okay, if you want to find this equation, if you want to find the root of this equation, normally what you have to do is you need to write a coding in MATLAB actually, and you have to solve this equation. You have to apply either Newton-Raphson or bisection methods, secant methods, anything. What I used to do is, I'll tell you. Look, I'll tell you what I have done. What I used to do. X power, where is the power symbol here? I think it should be there somewhere. X power 3 plus x cube plus, what is the equation I have given you? Minus 2x square now. So x cube minus minus here. So no, this is subscript. Okay, x cube minus 2x square. So 2x square. Okay, so 2x square, x cube minus 2x square plus x. Okay, so plus x cube minus 2x square plus x actually here. Okay, so this is x. So now if you see, this is equal to 0. Okay, so if you want this equation, this solution of this equation, so just check the points where this curve is cutting the x-axis. That's nothing but the solution. So I used to zoom. So whenever I used to zoom, I used to get the solutions. This solution is 0, 0 anyhow. This solution is 1, 0. So I think these are the two solutions for this equation, and it is one more. It is having actually one more solution. Okay, somewhere it could be there, maybe in some finite range. It is actually means whenever it is just touching the x-axis, that means both the solutions are 1, 0 and 1, 0, and this is 0, 0. So this is how you can identify the solutions of the equations generally. Clear? Sometimes Desmos is one very simple and one free tool to calculate. Morning, there is a question from, one is repeated. Okay, one is repeated root. Whenever it is like a tangent, that means the root is repeated. Okay, so now if you see in morning, there is one question that I have solved actually in ECEW paper. They have asked about the regression, which we have actually. Okay, so points given are, in that case, they have given points like minus 1, 0.8, 0, 2.2, 1, 2.8. Okay, so they asked, we have fitted a polynomial from these 3 points using least square method. So if you fit a polynomial, if this equation is y is equal to a plus bx, what is the value of b? This is what they have asked in this question. Okay, so whenever they have asked b is nothing but slope of this equation. Yes or no? Correct? Because this equation is of the form y is equal to mx plus c. So the slope is b value here. Correct? Slope is b. Correct? If they ask b, they are asking you slope. So I have calculated with the technique. What I know, I got the answer as 1 actually. Okay, so I got the answer as 1. Now I need some confirmation. Okay, in gate Desmos won't be allowed here. Look, if in gate Desmos is allowed, no one will solve numerical methods. Okay, so see here carefully, b is equal to 1 is what I got. Okay, then how I confirmed it is, look, I'll tell you. Linear fit generator, linear fit calculator. Okay, so I have applied this linear fit calculator. Then I have opened this graph pad. These are the common tools what I used in my past work. So what I have done is basically, so first point, what is the first point they have given you? Minus 1, so minus 1, and this is, what is this value? 0.8 is given by them. Okay, so 0.8. Okay, and then this point is 0, and this point is 2.2 is given by them. So 2.2. Okay, and this is 1 actually they have given here, and this they have asked 2.8. Okay, so 2.8. Okay, sorry, just a minute, this is taking some time. 2.8. Okay, so this is what they have given. Okay, so these are the 3 points they have given. So calculate is what I have done. So once you calculate, this is the fit. Slope, 1 by slope is 1. So what is slope? 1. This is how I confirmed it. Okay, clear? So these are some small techniques which can help you out in when you are solving some tough questions and all. Okay, so let's get back to this question basically. So now if you see, this is equal to limit x tends to infinity 1 minus limit x tends to infinity sin x by x divided by limit x tends to infinity 1 minus plus limit x tends to infinity sin x by x. Correct? Plus, now what about this quantity? When you put infinity, this is infinity and this is also infinity. So this is infinity by infinity form. So if you apply L'Hospital rule, limit x tends to infinity, derivative of log x is 1 by x divided by differentiation of x is 1 actually. Okay, so here if you see carefully, this limit is 0, this limit is 0, and this is 1 by 1. So 1 plus when you put infinity, this is 0. So correct answer is basically 1 in this question. Okay, clear? 1 plus 0. Okay, so this limit is basically 0 because of this logic. Fine. Okay, so let's go for the next question. The minimum number of iterations required to evaluate square root of 28 correct up to 3 decimal places by using Newton's Raphson method with an initial guess of 5 is dash. Okay, so basically sir bas ho gaya aaj itna. Okay, so just this question and one more question. Okay, because it's already 2 o'clock, I understand. Okay, so just 2 more questions, this question and one more question. Okay, then we shall close this session. Fine, I understand you also started at morning 8 AM, but till 2 AM again we are working. Okay, so 2 questions. Okay, this and one more. Clear? Less. So see here, Newton-Raphson method. Newton-Raphson method. Okay, so what is the formula? Xk plus 1 is equal to xk minus f of xk by f dash of xk. Correct? This is the iteration technique. Yes or no? Correct? This is the iteration technique. So just confirm me one thing, dash by function or function by dash? Tell me. F dash of xk by f of xk or f of xk by f dash of xk. What do you think is correct? This is correct. How many of you have this confusion here at this point? Fx by f dash x. How many of you have confusion at this point? Me? Yes, Hana? I'll just give you one dash by f. F by f dash. Actually f by f dash is correct. I'll tell you one thing. See, I'll explain you how this can happen. See carefully here. Look, let us suppose xk is the value in kth iteration and xk plus 1 is the value in k plus 1th iteration, whatever you got. Okay, k plus 1th iteration. Okay, this is k plus 1th iteration. So normally yeah, sometimes gets confused after long time. I'll tell you. See, normally when you calculate the roots after many iterations, you get xk and xk plus 1. Okay, now there will be small difference between these two. Correct? Because obviously in the next iteration root will come much closer to the actual root. So let us suppose the difference between xk plus 1 and xk is h. Okay, so we can write xk plus 1 is equal to xk plus h. Now tell me one thing, after some large number of iterations, definitely this xk plus 1 and actual root will be close. Yes or no? Tell me one thing. Correct? After some large number of iterations, this xk plus 1 and the actual root of the equation, let us suppose if f of x is equal to 0 is the equation for which you are calculating root, then after some finite number of iterations, this xk plus 1 and the actual root of the equation, these two will be very close to each other. Yes or no? Correct? Yes or no? Correct? So therefore you can write one thing, f of xk plus 1 is 0 because xk plus 1 and the root are almost the same. So this implies f of xk plus 1 can be written as xk plus h is equal to 0. So if you apply Taylor series, for example, this is equal to f of x plus h is equal to f of x plus h into f dash of x by 1 factorial plus h square by 2 factorial into f double dash of xk, all these things, but I am making linear approximation of Taylor series. Okay, so I am considering only one series. So this is equal to 0. So from this, what is the value of h? Minus f of xk divided by f dash of xk. है ना? This is the value of h. So if you replace here, xk plus 1 is equal to xk plus h. h का value क्या है? Minus f of xk by f dash of xk. And this both are same. Okay, so that's how it's an iteration scheme basically. So if you remember the Taylor series, you can easily within these two steps you can identify this h has f by f dash. Okay, so linear approximation of Taylor series. We have actually neglected the higher order terms of the Taylor series expansion, because whenever after large number of iterations, the difference between these two will be very small actually. Okay, so that's why this h value, which is the difference, is actually very small. So h square will be much smaller, h cube, all these terms will be much smaller. So that's why I have approximated the Taylor series to a linear approximation. Okay, so when you approximate this to linear approximation, then h ka value is this. Okay, so that's how this is f by f dash. Okay, we have many such points. We'll discuss after some, once the exam gets completed, then we can talk about all these points. Fine. So this is what you have. Okay, so xk plus 1 is equal to xk minus. Now what is the equation actually here? We want x is equal to square root of 28, correct? So this equation can be written as x square minus 28 is equal to 0. So this is your f of x. Okay, so f of xk square minus 28 divided by 2 times of xk, because the differentiation of this is 2x. Okay, fine. 2 iterations. Let us say I don't know how to solve the question. I don't know the number of iterations. Let us check once. Okay, so if you do this, xk plus 1 is equal to 2xk square minus xk square. So we have 1 xk square minus of minus plus 28 by 2xk. So this is equal to half times of xk plus 28 by xk. Okay, so this is the iteration scheme. Okay, so finally we have generated the iteration scheme. Xk plus 1 is half times of xk plus 28 by xk. Now what is x1? If you put k equal to 0, x1 is equal to half times of x0 plus 28 by x0. Okay, now what is initial guess? x0 is 5. So x1 is equal to half times of 5 plus 28 by 5. Okay, so what is the value of x1? 5 plus 28 by 5. 5 plus 28 by 5. Okay, so this multiplied with half. So 5.3. So this is 5.3. How many decimal places they have asked? Up to 3 decimal places. So we have done one iteration. Second iteration, half times of 5.3 plus 28 by 5.3. Okay, so if you calculate this value, then 28 by 5.3, if you save the, look here, I'll explain you to use the calculator. Now you need this 5.3 value, correct? So this option ms is called memory save. Okay, so look carefully here. Here there is nothing, but as soon as you click ms, there is m, capital M, means some memory got stored in the calculator. Okay, and if you clear everything, if you click memory recollect mr, this is 5.3. so this is the value which is saved in the calculator. So 5.3 plus 28 by 5.3. okay, so this value multiplied with half, so again 5.2915. 5.2915. Now again store this value. Okay, so store this value, so it got stored. So m recall plus 28 by memory recollect again. Okay, so this value multiplied with 0.5, so to 5.291. again x3 is also coming out to be 5.291. so 3 decimals do not change, so we need 3 iterations total to calculate this root to exactly 3 decimal places. Okay, clear? Okay, so is this clear to all of you? Did you understand how to use this memory save and memory recalling button? Otherwise, every time you have to type 5.3 plus 28 by 5.3, then again 5.2915 plus all these things you have to type again and again. Okay, but if you use that button and shift, things will be very easy. Okay, so we have done 3 iterations. From x0 we have calculated x1, x2 and x3. In x3 we identified that these two are same. Okay, so we need total 3 iterations. Clear? So it is asked minimum in question. So 2 iterations nahi aayega kya? No. When you perform only 2 iterations, these 3 decimals are not equal. Okay, when you perform only till 2 iterations, these 2 values are not same. That's why you have to go for the 3rd iteration, and because you don't know, in 3rd iteration it can change actually. Okay, so that's why we need confirmation till 3 iterations to check the accuracy of 2 decimal places, 3 decimal places. Okay, so shall we go for the next question? Clear? So shall we go for the next question? Okay, fine. So next question. This I have given you the technique, है ना? So solution 1 0 minus 1 are eigenvalues of a 3 by 3 matrix, eigenvalues of A for example. Then the trace of A square plus 5A. Okay, so look, let us suppose if A has the eigenvalues of lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda 3. Okay, so let lambda 1 is equal to 1, lambda 2 is equal to 0, lambda 3 is equal to minus 1. Okay, so now if you see, let us suppose this has the eigenvalues, means A square plus 5A has the eigenvalues lambda 1 dash, lambda 2 dash, lambda 3 dash. Okay, now what could be lambda 1 dash? Lambda 1 dash is equal to, this function is A square plus 5A, so lambda 1 square plus 5 times of lambda 1. Okay, lambda 2 dash is equal to lambda 2 square plus 5 times of lambda 2. Lambda 3 dash is equal to lambda 3 square plus 5 times of lambda 3. Okay, so whatever is the operation given in matrix, same has to be performed for calculating the eigenvalues. Okay, so lambda 1 square plus 5 lambda, 1 plus 1 square 1 plus 5, this is 6. What about this 0 square plus 5, 5 into 0, 0, lambda 3 square, so 1 minus 5 minus 4. Okay, so these are the eigenvalues. So this matrix has eigenvalues of 6, 0, minus 4. So trace is equal to 2. Correct? So 2 is the correct answer. Okay, so 2 is basically the correct answer in this case. So I hope you got how to calculate the eigenvalues. Okay, fine. So but if you manually calculate root of 28, we get 5.2915. Can't we compare the second iteration with manual answer and say 2 minimum iterations are required? No, basically they are asking you, in when you are performing iterations, what are the number of iterations after which your 3 decimals gets matched. Okay, this is the question. Okay, Sid, I hope you got the logic. Okay, when you are performing the iterations, what are the number of iterations at which you know that 3 decimal places are getting matched? Okay, so should we remember convergence formula? Which convergence? Newton-Raphson, this one. This one you are talking? Convergence formula for Newton-Raphson method. The condition for convergence of Newton-Raphson is this actually. Okay, anyhow, this is not asked at this gate examination level. You need some more advanced study to get this question. But right now the derivation of this is also not very simple. Okay, Taylor says you have to do and approximate this. Okay, so one last question. Shall we do one more last question? Yes or no? Sumant, how did you manage for gate during your BTech in my college? Aisa kya? I'll tell you. Okay, so one last question. Okay, just one last question. Okay, nahi. Let's go. Okay, good. One last question here. Okay, Vaibhav, only one question. A very small question game. Okay, fine. Let us see. Which of the following is solution of differential equation x square y double dash plus x into y dash plus y is equal to 4 times of sine log x to the base e. So this is the question actually. Okay, so out of this, what are the solutions? Tell me. Error formula is important for xc? No, not it. Okay, so generally it is not asked. Look, this is actually a lengthy question, to be frank, actually, because I just to boost your confidence I told it's simple, but actually it's a lengthy question. Look, this equation which is basically here is called Euler-Cauchy equation. कल मैकेनिकल में भी ये क्वेश्चन आया था, लेकिन this right hand side 0 दिया. Okay, so Euler-Cauchy equation. So to solve this equation, we make the substitution, which is x is equal to e power z. Okay, so this gives you x square into d by dx square. D square by dx square is equal to d into d minus 1, where d is d by dz. Okay, मैकेनिकल में भी पढ़ाया था डिफरेंशियल इक्वेशंस में मैंने. So you can see this x into d by dx is d, okay, and y. So this differential equation gets, so this implies z is equal to log x to the base e. So this complete, if you substitute all these things, this differential equation becomes d into d minus 1 plus d plus 1 operating on y is equal to 4 times of sin z. So this is the function. Okay, now we have to solve this. D square minus d plus 1 operating on y is equal to 4 times of sin z actually. Okay, so this is 4 times of sin z. Now d gets cancelled, so the equation in terms of z is d square minus 1 plus 1, I think plus 1 is given, yeah, plus 1 operating on y is equal to 4 times of sin z. Now this is a higher order differential equation. गलत हो गया, मैंने भाई लीव किया उसको. अच्छा, you are discussing of last mechanical question. So if you see, so we have to calculate two things, complementary function and particular integral. So first of all, what is auxiliary equation? D square plus 1 is equal to 0, so m square plus 1 is equal to 0. So m is equal to plus or minus I. Okay, so this implies your complementary function is equal to, this is 0 plus or minus I. Okay, so e power alpha x, which is 1 into c1 cos z plus c2 sin z is what you have here. Okay, so boundary conditions diya ya nahi? Okay, boundary conditions are also not given. Okay, so I think something is missing here, because some boundary condition should be there to calculate these values. Okay, or else they're asking you only the particular integral. One of these things should happen. Fine. Okay, so cos z plus sin z. And what about yp? 1 by d square plus 1 4 sin z actually. Okay, so this gives you minus z into, okay, 4 is there here, so 4 into, now when you put minus 1 square, so this minus 1 square becomes, so basically this d square has to be replaced with this minus of 1 square. Okay, so minus 1 plus 1 comes to 0 actually here. So 4 times of z into differentiation of this term, which is 2d into sin z actually here. Okay, so this is 2, so 2z into integration of sin z is minus cos z actually here. Okay, so this is the particular integral. So I think they have asked only for the particular integral options, they didn't ask for the complementary function, because here this complementary function, if you want to calculate, you need boundary conditions to get c1 and c2. So therefore you can take this, you tackle only this. So particular integral is minus 2z cos z. So what is z actually? Minus 2 into ln x into cos ln x. So this function should be there somewhere. Minus 2 times of ln x into cos ln x. Option C is the correct answer. Okay, they mean only particular integral value, they didn't ask for the complementary function because boundary conditions are not given here. Okay, so this is the particular integral. Clear? And this is can also be solution, because c1 c2, for any values of c1 c2, this is a solution. So you can take c1 equal to 0 and c2 equal to 0, then complementary function becomes 0, then particular integral becomes only the total solution. One pi again. What is pi? I didn't get this. You want me to explain once again? That's what you're asking? Pi again. Please again. I didn't get this. PCS 1. Oh, sorry. Yes. Okay, fine. So basically, these are called higher order differential equations. Okay, I'll do one thing. Maybe you might not have got this concept directly. In tomorrow's session, I'll take some time and I'll discuss what is Euler-Cauchy equation, and then I'll try to show the solving of higher order differential equations. Okay, and in tomorrow's class of mathematics, I'll talk about some most expected questions of diagonalization of matrices. Eigenvalues and eigenvectors are very commonly asked, and apart from eigenvalues and eigenvectors, we have diagonalization of matrices, and after that we can talk about this partial differential equations, heat and Laplace solution, heat and Laplace solutions, and then we can talk about this numerical method, Simpson's one-third rule. Okay, I think I have kept some more questions, but anyhow it's 2:15 already, so we'll end the session here. Okay, then after we'll see some good questions tomorrow. Okay, from complex calculus, from probability normal distributions, these things we'll see tomorrow. Okay, so did you all enjoy the session? Learn some new topics? Okay, so slowly what happens is you will definitely gain some confidence in 1-2 days and you will start attempting the questions. Okay, sir, got it sir, respect to you sir, thank you. FM, see you sir. Yeah, tomorrow morning 8 AM. Method of variation of parameters. Yes, I'll explain you method of variation of parameters, no issue. Extremely thank you. Yes, maza aaya. Okay, fine, maza. Okay, tomorrow timing 8 AM, no issue. Okay, Sandeep sir will start, then I will join. Okay. So how did you manage for GATE during your BTech? Tell me honestly, how many, how much attendance you have in your BTech? Are you going to every class? No, na? So when you bunk some classes, you can make it more productive. Okay, that's it. You are an inspiration, sir. Thank you, Ashwin. Lal ho jai. What is that? Sorry. Lal ho jai baba. Okay, something. Wronskian is also there. Wronskian is basically in method of this variation of parameters. I'll discuss tomorrow. No issue. Okay. So FM topics for tomorrow, all the topics basically, and I'll put some special interest on this Reynolds transport theorem questions, linear momentum, angular momentum, because you are facing slight difficulty there today I have observed. So I'll discuss some questions from linear and linear momentum mostly, and because angular momentum today one sprinkler question I have solved anyhow. Then some questions from this control volume analysis and this dimensional and potential flows. Okay. तो आपसे पढ़ के मजा आता है. Thank you. Potential flow, please, sir. Yeah, potential flow. I'll try to take some extra session, somewhere in between. Okay, and I'll try to definitely, give you some things. Fine then. Okay. So I forgot just a minute. Yeah, I have brought one important slide for you. I have to display. Where is this? Yeah, Wallah. Okay. So thank you. Fine. Okay. So thank you all for your patience, for bearing me for 3.5 hours almost. Okay, so yeah, good night. Okay, sleep with smiles, then tomorrow wake up with new energy. We will solve some more questions. Okay, definitely if you keep on attending the sessions, they'll definitely boost your confidence. Okay, don't worry. Yeah, thank you all. Bye all of you. Good night. Okay, so कल सुबह 8 बजे फिर वापस आएंगे. Okay. Yeah, bye all of you. Good night. Good night. Take care. Okay, so sleep well for some 6 hours. 6 hours. Only 5 hours is left. Fine. Okay, whatever. Good night. Fine. Okay. Yeah, good night all of you. Bye. Take care. Okay. Yeah, important slide. Okay, fine. Take care. Okay. Good night. Bye. I'm ending the stream. If you have any doubts, you can ask me, or else it's good. 5.43.26. What is this? Take care, sir. Okay. Yeah, good night all of you. Bye. Okay. Bye. Okay, 5:43 to 6. Acha, the time that is left till tomorrow, 5 hours 43 minutes 26 seconds. Okay, thank you. Bye. Okay, take care. Bye. Good night.